Live from La Cocina Studios. This is 205th edition of the HWR show. This is Abel.
This is Travis.
Me, I'm Chris.
Thank you so much for tuning in and joining us today, guys. We very much appreciate it. If you are watching live, we're already breaking up, but listen, Travis, holy crap. If you are watching live on the YouTube, chat along with us. I have the chat room up on my phone, so if you guys say something, I'll see it, I'll read it, and we'll get to it. We'll try to incorporate you into the show.
Ask us questions.
Yeah, ask
relevant to the show.
Yeah, call us out on our bullshit.
Who are you voting for?
Like,
Don't ask that.
yeah, we probably already lost listeners.
Yeah.
But
we're at a -7 viewers. How the fuck does that work?
How did that happen? Yeah.
ABG free. Fuck them. -7 viewers.
If you are not watching live and you're watching on a delay, that's fine too.
What's your problem?
You can interact with us on Facebook. Facebook.com/HWRadio or on Twitter at HWrestlingRadio. You can interact with our fans, our peoples, our gente.
What'd you call me?
Nothing.
Oh.
Goldberg. Goldberg.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Goldberg. Huh?
Yeah.
Goldberg.
Finally.
All right.
Are we starting with this?
Yeah.
This is where we're
Is this official?
That's the talk of the town right now. Goldberg.
Goldberg. Okay, right into
The Berg of Gold.
Okay. All right, Goldberg. So, showed up on Raw and pretty much accepted Brock Lesnar's challenge to a fight. Ta-da. Okay.
Because like Paul Heyman said in the vignette things, like that'd be kind of boring and pointless if you came out just to
say no.
Yeah. So
yeah.
It's kind of obvious.
Yeah, it's kind of obvious. Okay, so who here was a big enough WCW fan back when it was going on that like seeing Goldberg now is like, oh my god, mark out moment?
I wouldn't say I'm marked out for it. Mainly because we kind of knew it was coming by this point.
Okay.
Obviously, this was kind of a quick turnaround deal that they made, but still, we knew what was going on. Mm-hmm. And plus, from the last 2 years of video game history, we know if the spotlight is on somebody, chances are we're probably going to see him on TV.
Okay.
Much less in a match. But no, you know what? It was cool to see him. I mean, I'm not going to say that I marked out for it, but it was a good segment. I liked it. I enjoyed it.
Okay.
We'll get into more. I mean, after you.
All right.
What do you think, Chris?
2K did a good job of making him relevant right now. WWE did a good job of taking advantage of the awareness of Bill Goldberg, doing a Bill Goldberg exclusive channel on the network for you to watch some of his best moments.
The collections.
Yeah. Even on the website, they had a top 10 of Goldberg's deadliest spears.
Because not everybody is old enough to remember who he is or why should we give a shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So all this stuff that you're saying, that's good to reel in everybody. You know.
And Gold Star for Denver, because they were over as fuck the entire show, and they did not run out of gas when Goldberg came out.
They were a good crowd.
And that goes back to my original philosophy as if I were an outsider, a casual trying to enjoy the show. If the crowd thinks it's a big deal, I should assume it's a big deal.
Right.
And that crowd was like ape shit as soon as that music hit.
Not only were they a good crowd for Raw, but they were also a good crowd for SmackDown.
Yeah.
And that took me aback for a second when they said they were in Denver. I'm like, wait a second, weren't they there last night? Like, somehow Denver got back-to-back.
1/3 of the people showed up to SmackDown, but
oh, really?
It was tipped off bad.
It wasn't a full house, but you couldn't tell because the audio. You could hear the chanting during the main event's audible. I think they're testing that out. You know, we have NXT TakeOver on Saturday in Toronto, and then the next day in Toronto for Survivor Series. We've had that back-to-back with Brooklyn, and now this stint. Like, hey, which brand would you prefer? So let's have them there for 2 nights. You guys pick which one you want.
Yeah.
If this idea rolls on the sidebar, I would love to see Raw and SmackDown here to see what the crowd prefers.
Yeah.
You know, is Raw the big deal?
It's kind of a big social experiment on their part. I don't know if they would go all out on that. I was actually going the opposite route of that. Like, I was thinking it's more of a detriment to SmackDown if they are going to continue doing the same town, same arena for Raw and SmackDown. Because look, your tickets aren't cheap. We just found that out buying Royal Rumble tickets, you know.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're a hardcore fan and you like both products, you gotta
pick one.
And Raw is the flagship show, so which one are you gonna do?
And that's a debate in itself before we even go back into the Goldberg stuff, because you just opened the can of worms there. Like, we've been on this show fervently for the last month that SmackDown's the show you gotta watch. And then Talking Smack separately is the other sidebar, another sidebar show that you have to watch.
Right.
So would you go? You have $100 in your hand. What ticket are you buying first? If they both go on sale at the same time, Raw or SmackDown?
Right now, SmackDown.
But here's the thing, though.
But historically, it would be Raw.
Well, here's the thing, though. We're hardcore fans,
right?
John Q. Public, all the advertisements are for Raw. So you're gonna say Raw's coming to town, or everybody knows what Raw is, and they know that's their main show. So you're gonna take the family out, and it's gonna be for Raw, I think. And it shows. It showed this past week. Raw. I don't know if it was a sellout on Raw, but it was packed. I saw several pictures of people posting up from SmackDown, all tapered off on the camera side. It was bad. It was like 1/3.
I didn't know that.
It was like 1/3 of what Raw was.
Really?
Yeah.
You can tell. You can tell when there's a lack of camera angles, especially on Raw. They like to have that center angle so you can see the ring in the center and the ramp in the back and the crowd full on both sides of the bowl. On SmackDown, you'll only get the one hard camera that swings from the entryway and swings to the ring and sometimes sweeps back to catch the announce team, and that's it. Like, you won't get a full fisheye scope where you can see everything. So you can tell when you start seeing less angles of the whole arena. That's when you can tell that they've tapered off.
Well, honestly, I didn't really notice that. But
audio-wise, you didn't notice that.
Audio, I think they were a good crowd for both shows. I mean, I guess, you know, even if you have less, if they're still fervent enough, it's going to be okay. Kind of like, you know, what happened Sunday, or, you know, with the Texans game. Half the crowd left in the fourth quarter, but, you know,
it was fucking worth it.
They were still loud. So, you know,
overtime.
Yeah, there was nobody there, but they were still cheering. So,
I'm not lost. I just don't give a shit.
Well,
4-2.
No. I'll tell you something about that. I saw.
Shit, we're 10 minutes in, bro. It's gonna be a long night. You better bust out the left for Dingy.
That's what she said. I
don't.
Whoa. So no, one thing about the Texans, I saw this one clip. I think it was like Channel 13 or whatever locally here. They had some interviews in the locker room with the Texans about they were complaining and whining that all these people left. It's like, come on, you play a shitty game, you know, up until the end of the game. Yeah, people are gonna leave. Why are they? I don't know. Whatever. This ain't about the Texans.
Right.
Yet.
This is about Goldberg. Damn it.
Oh yeah, let's go.
Goldberg.
Circle back around. Okay, so
that was a long tangent.
That was very. That was a nice tangent though. Okay,
there's more coming.
Goldberg. You know, I tend to agree with Travis. You know, I know. Yeah, drink it in, man. It was a nice segment. It was cool seeing him out there. It was cool seeing him walking from the back and everybody clapping for him and checking him out and like, hey, check it out, it's Goldberg. And then getting into the ring. All the stuff he said was nice. But that doesn't make me any more excited for the shitty match that's going to ensue. I know the match is going to suck.
Okay. Yeah. I agree with that it is going to suck. But you know what? From the way it was presented last week with Heyman and their reasoning for challenging Goldberg in the first place, and to Goldberg's credit and the crowd's credit, that whole segment of Goldberg, it didn't detract from my anticipation of the build to get to that match.
It didn't detract.
The match itself, I know, is going to be bad. And hey, you know what? If maybe they can surprise us, but I'm setting
if you set the bar that low that they could just walk over it, then we are going to be surprised. I'll go one step further. Even through WWE's run, I don't remember Goldberg having enough time on the microphone to cut a promo for you to actually get some of his personality or some of his attitude. All he did was pyro, come out, spear, jackhammer, win, back, done. Does that sound familiar?
They tried some stuff with him, and because I remember that was not mind-boggling or anything, but it was just kind of out of left field that they were going to try to change up his character, because he didn't have a character. It was just a dude that just came out and killed people. But I remember specifically there was a couple weeks where Goldust would go back there, and they were trying to do something with him and Goldberg, like trying to get some humor out of Goldberg, and it felt forced because that's what you could tell that they were doing with this character. They're trying to get something out of that, and at the time he was just kind of no knock on that guy, but kind of like a one-dimensional dude.
Yeah.
But he submitted his. I think by this point you could say from way he was booked in WCW all the way, for the most part in WWE, he has a legacy because of all that.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it also stems from, in WCW, he wasn't, there wasn't a whole lot to him. He wasn't a character. He was just a dude that just beat everybody. He went into wrestling not wanting to be a wrestler, and he just kind of fell into it. He wasn't a wrestling fan or anything. He was just like, okay, I'm gonna go out and do this, and this is my job, and that's it. He's never been fully immersed in all the fucking, lack of a better word, universe of being in the world of wrestling. So he's never had that respect, I guess you could say, but not saying he was disrespectful. He just never fully got it. So he was just a guy that they just threw a lot onto, because he had the look, and he was able to do a few things, but he never had the showmanship, But I think last night on Monday, maybe it's just old age, maybe him looking back, reflecting, learning more about wrestling on his time off, or just learning more about being somebody who's been in the public spotlight for a long time.
Impressing his hot wife at ringside. Woo!
Well, see, that's the thing. And that's exactly what I was going to say. The thing that gave him personality was the fact that, hey, you know what? You're a legend, but you're not a legend because you're on the mic. You're a legend because of what you did in the ring, but you have all this respect. So, you know what? Let's just have you be you. We'll get your wife involved. We'll get your kid involved. For him, it was a big deal.
Couple of other random kids he almost took home.
Yeah, I know, right?
That was borderline creepy.
Yeah, a little bit.
Achievement unlocked. Pedophile.
It added some more stuff to it, especially that line about this is the first time my kid's going to get to see me in the ring. His kid was 8. He stopped wrestling 12 years ago. So I was like, oh, that's a nice little nugget that makes him human.
Yeah, humanized him.
Yeah, humanized him. He's not like this automaton just goes out there, Jack Habert spear 1, 2, 3, and that's it. He's a fucking dude.
Look, here's the thing. I agree with all that. I'm going to say that that whole promo, he didn't, unless I'm missing something, he didn't really fuck up on anything. He, like he said, he's not the best talker, like as far as the promos go. We knew that. But the promo felt real. It didn't feel forced. You didn't feel scripted. Like you could tell that he just went out there and they gave him a mic and say, "Okay, tell him what you think."
Yeah,
and that felt real. And yeah, like you said, you could tell he's kind of reflective and he appreciated. He felt humble. That's the word I was thinking for. You could tell he was humbled about the whole experience.
It's almost like Goldberg of 12 years ago and Goldberg of 15 years ago didn't realize who he was and what he had. Yeah. And now that he was gone and he came back, it's like people are still talking about me. People are still cheering for me. People are going nuts over me. Wow, I think I really did do something special back then. And he just didn't realize it. It took him all this time for him to realize it.
I flipped out this side of the coin and say, you know what? After all this time, I already fucked up by staying away this long.
Good point. Yeah.
But there's a lot of elements here that weren't here 12 years ago at WrestleMania 20 that I'm slowly starting to get a little more optimistic than, oh, this is going to be an awesome build, but the match is going to be utter shit. Again, Lesnar didn't have any MMA experience or skill or build as a legitimate human threat, not a character threat, a human threat. You saw him in the street, he'll kill you. Like,
that ain't funny. You ain't joking.
So I want to see what the Lesnar now can do with Goldberg that the Lesnar 12 years ago couldn't. I'm about 85% sure that we might get the same Goldberg that we got in the beginning of WCW in his
Well,
WWE
he hasn't
run.
done anything.
He hasn't done much. And again, that goes back to what has he been doing since he's been gone that he can surprise us if our expectations this low.
He's been on reality TV shows with cars. And you know what? Maybe that helped him out. Having the TV show being in front of the camera, Hollywood style, people coaching him, saying this is how you emote to the camera. Maybe that helped him out.
I think the other thing about Goldberg that I remembered that I liked was the fact that he could be himself. Because, for example, the main thing that I fell back on was his footage during the Rise and Fall of WCW documentary, where he was bragging about how he loved the cruiserweights. And he was bragging about how he liked working with certain people that he liked, and him just being relaxed, not having to fill a role of a character that he could have just been himself. So getting more of that on this promo on Raw is like, you know what? This guy's not bad.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad I don't feel bad for cheering for this guy.
Right.
You know, like I'm not embarrassed to cheer for this guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some people might still be like embarrassed for John Cena, regardless of all of his redeeming qualities. People might be ashamed to chant for Roman Reigns, even though he's like clean now, hopefully. But like Goldberg right now, for his career, like I'm not ashamed for chanting Goldberg.
I don't think ashamed is the right word you're thinking of. I think guilty, like guilty pleasure.
There you go.
Yeah, and I went into this thinking, okay, like I said, I didn't mark out for the guy, but I knew I liked him back in the day. So, like, I was cautiously optimistic for his promo because I wanted it to do good.
Yeah.
I didn't want him to come out and just fail. And he didn't. And he knocked it out. And I think that goes along back to what we said before, is like it was the whole package. The crowd reaction, thank God he had a good reaction.
The video intro with him walking from the backstage and everybody like Bob Backlund going like, "Hey!"
Well, Bob Backlund was the first guy we saw, and I was like, "Fuck, they fucked it up." But after Backlund, and you saw like Sami Zayn just kind of sitting there going, "All right, yeah," you know, and everyone else like, "Oh, hey," like, "Oh," that drew me in. Yeah. It drew me in. Like if he would have been like a D-bag coming in with security, like trying to be like this is Atlanta, Georgia, you know, him trying to challenge Hogan. It's like, come on, man. But like, no, the way that they did that, even though it was like paying homage to his old entrance, they did it in a way where it was like, hey, this might be the guy that's going to save us from the big bad Brock Lesnar. You know,
that we still cheer for because it's fucking Brock Lesnar.
Well, we cheer for him. The locker room doesn't. The locker room's like, oh man, there's a Brock Lesnar problem. Maybe this guy can fix it. You know, so the locker room kind of being behind him in that sense kind of softened my heart towards him a little bit, if that makes sense.
Well,
we'll find out next week when we do our anticipation levels, because next week's our prediction show.
Yeah.
Next week's for Hell in a Cell.
We don't know.
Survivor Series is this match.
Yeah, we don't know who, technically yet.
There's still plenty of time for them to fuck it up.
Yeah.
Well, next week they're in Minnesota,
and that's where
Lesnar is going to be there.
Yeah. We don't know for sure if it's going to be at Survivor Series.
Well, it's sure as fuck is not going to be this at Hell in a Cell.
Well, it should.
You know what? I just want to say real quick. I was kind of lost for a second, but he put the nail right on the end of that promo when he says, "Not only are you next,
you're last."
And I thought, "Oh, perfect. Put the mic down. You're done." Like that was the perfect way to end that.
I liked it.
Yeah, and it solidified the fact that hey, he's got maybe one more match in him. Yeah. So obviously, whoever's next is going to be last. What?
2? What?
Maybe 2?
Well, let's get past the first match first.
Yeah. Let's get there first. I mean, I know. Oh, once in a lifetime turned into twice in a lifetime, and this is wrestling, so never say never. But
booking wise, he said that Lesnar's last. What if he doesn't? I've already predicted that he is not beating Lesnar at Survivor Series if this is their first match. Mm-hmm. What if Goldberg now has the incentive that he does not want his career to end with a loss? And he he asks for a
so we have a rubber match.
Yeah,
that Royal Rumble or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
or Mania. Drag it out to Mania.
I wouldn't want to drag it out that long. You know.
That's too ominous. You don't want people crapping on it again. Right. You don't want to set yourself up for that.
That's filler for Mania, like getting to Mania. Yeah, it's like a mid.
And then Goldberg accepts Hall of Fame at Mania.
Oh,
that's how you top it off.
That'd be nice.
And that's the end of the Goldberg era.
Mm-hmm. Here's the thing that I hope, and God forbid, I don't want anything to happen, but like with the 2K games bringing in, I don't know who does WWE tell 2K or 2K initiates this exchange of these wrestlers?
The contracts and the initiations is only between 2K and them. WWE doesn't have their hand in there at all.
So Warrior, Sting, that was all 2K.
That's all
getting
2K.
them for the game. And then WWE kind of stepped in and says, well, hey, since you're doing the game. All right. So here's the thing that just off the cuff, all I was thinking of was with these old timers like this, I wonder if it fills them with the false sense of security of what they can do in the ring. Look what happened with Sting.
Yeah. Yes.
Second match in, damn near dies.
Third match.
Was it third match?
Third, yeah.
Oh,
Because he had the tag
one-
match
yeah,
on
the tag
Raw,
match, okay.
and then the WrestleMania.
Okay, the second one-on-one match.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Warrior's dead.
Now we could kind
Seriously,
of.
I mean, yeah. It's,
we could blame Rollins for that.
and-
Warrior's death on Rollins?
No, on Sting, not on Warrior. Warrior dying, well, that's.
No, they're both
a thing in and
professionals.
of
They know what
itself.
they're doing. No, it's a 50-50 dance on there. They both know what they're getting into. My thing is
Are you dependent on
Goldberg.
that every
Like,
year?
okay, Sting was out 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
Goldberg's been out 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
No, wait, I take no. Sting's he was in TNA for. I mean, so he
was out for 2 years.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. He was out of WCW for the whole time, but he's been still actively wrestling.
Yeah.
regardless of work they don't continue. Okay. But Goldberg literally has not been doing anything.
Goldberg has had maybe a handful of matches tops since after.
Okay, in any
WCW.
show, what is Goldberg?
And even then, that falls back to what does Goldberg do? Spear, jackhammer, beer, done, and that's
Yeah.
and that's it.
So I just hope, I really hope that this isn't going to be like a cringe-worthy match.
I hope it's not.
Of is he going to die? He's going against Brock Lesnar, and let's face it, Brock Lesnar is not a ballerina.
And is in his prime.
Yeah, no shit.
Brock Lesnar is not the best at pulling punches.
Yeah.
You know, like he's.
That's half the charm.
Yeah, no, right?
It is. I mean,
Heyman's the other half.
he violated Punk. He violated Cena. He violated Triple H.
Undertaker.
And Taker. They could take it, but I don't know if Goldberg can take it. I mean, Goldberg was a tough dude. He was an athletic specimen back in the day, but this isn't back in the day.
I'm just going to assume, okay, for my own sake of building up to this, gearing up for this match, I'm going to assume that prior to this or leading up to this, Goldberg has been working out. He's been in the gym.
Oh God! I
At
hope
least
so.
had physicals up the wazoo to make sure
Yes.
that there won't.
And also going to the Performance Center.
However,
and we still have 5 weeks.
the one thing that I did see that is like fucking minute. So you might think I'm reading too much into it, and I even think I'm reading too much into it. Is when he came out and he did his little entrance, the little pop kick thing.
He limped.
He limped a little bit, and he didn't get that leg up that high either. Now,
Well, he never did really.
well, yeah, but I mean,
And he's
when
wearing
you
pants.
watch, well, that's true. When you watch the video package,
You do it wearing pants.
He can't even do it with that.
I'm sitting down. I know, fat. But
Not as much as he used to be.
that's true.
Yeah.
But
Progress.
I saw the age on him physically.
Mm,
You know, the physicality of just throwing those air punches and that kick. I was like, ooh, I'm not sure about this.
Here's a little bend.
Mhm.
It's in Denver. That happens to everybody when you're a mile high,
Okay.
even if it's legal. So if he does that like at sea level, I'd worry a little.
Okay.
Now, with that being said, Warrior, Sting, Goldberg.
Mm-hmm.
2K18, who's your star? Who are you bringing?
Taker.
Defend yourself.
Because you know he's always in the game, right?
Yeah. I don't know. You put me on the spot. That's a shitty answer. I'm sorry. Travis.
I got one.
All right.
Kurt Angle.
You motherfucker, you stole my thunder from Monday.
You told me what it was, you bitch.
Yes, Kurt
It's
Angle.
not the first time today you've done that.
Poor dingy.
Kurt freaking
Don't worry, I didn't have a
Angle.
good answer for him on Monday.
No,
either.
actually,
Oh,
no.
okay.
The answer that Travis had on Monday for me was Jeff Hardy.
Was it? Did I say that?
Mm.
I don't think I said that. No? Did I say that? I don't think I did.
But I'm leaning towards Kurt
He can
Angle.
say that that's his answer.
Oh, okay.
Okay, sure. I'll take one for the team. Kurt Angle is a winner.
Okay.
As far as legendary wrestlers, that's
That need one more run in WWE and then top them in the Hall of Fame and shut them off.
is Kurt Angle pretty much it. I mean, we're running out of icons over here.
We
you know?
are. We are starting to, yeah, Kurt Angle. I mean, yeah, you can make a case for Hardy, but man, I don't know. You're starting to get hard pressed.
2K 2020 CM Punk.
DDP?
No.
DDP?
He's a DLC at best.
Oh, shade.
Dang. Nah. I think that's it. Kurt Angle would probably be like the last guy. And that goes back to your argument earlier. You don't want to rely on this every year. At some point, if the game's good, it's good. If it sucks, you can bring in like Eddie Guerrero. It's still gonna suck because the game sucks. So
I don't think they could bring in Eddie Guerrero.
no, focus the game on Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah.
Put a goatee on Chavo Noah and the difference.
That's racist.
Hey, since we brought it up, I did
racism? Okay.
Oh well. Here's what Trump said the other day.
Oh
yeah?
No, here's what he's saying right now.
Yeah.
So we can just tune into the fucking debate.
Shit, right?
Oh, Trump, here's who I'm voting for. Did I just cut Travis off? Go ahead.
Yeah, go for Travis.
No, because we just mentioned 2K17.
Yeah.
Last week I did a review.
He did a first impression.
First impression.
Now
I had
second impression.
Yeah, because I had another day to play it before I returned it back to Redbox. I did want to say one thing though. One thing I meant to say last week. I was pretty positive about it. I mean, there were some hits and misses on it. One thing I didn't talk about was the commentary. It's shitty.
Because who's on commentary?
Cole, JBL, and Jerry Lawler.
Okay.
That's it for everything.
Really? No Corey, nobody else.
No Morrow, no nothing.
Morrow.
Not even Tom Phillips for NXT.
Wow.
Not even JR for the old stuff.
Wow.
Like sometimes they'll do like you do classic stuff and you do that, but it's them three the whole fucking game. They suck. Even no, seriously, and it's dated too. Like I had Sasha versus Charlotte in some kind of match, and Jerry Lawler on commentary, and I think one other person kept calling them divas.
Oh,
divas!
Well, it's fun while it lasted, ladies.
Yeah, we're getting back to it. But okay, but on to further impressions of the game. The gameplay, I said it last week. If you played it the last 3 years, you played this game. I do want to say, caveat to that, the AI has gotten a lot better on this game.
Explain.
There's a few instances where I was like, oh, okay. As they do the subtle nuances to make the match feel a little more evenly paced is what you would see. The reversal system, like I said last week, does suck. It's the same reversal system they had for years. However, they make it to where even though you can't reverse shit for like a minute or two, you can still get your second win. You can start reversing stuff, and you can start turning the tide in the match back to yourself. So there's some subtle nuances on these matches. There was one instance where I think it was that same match. It was Charlotte versus Sasha, and I was playing as Sasha, and
Hector.
Yeah, I know. You're not wrong.
He said the game was obsolete before it even came out.
Hence the divas thing. Yeah. All right, so but
obsolete.
I was playing as Sasha and Charlotte. First, she had Dana with her.
Oh, really?
And Dana would cause interference anytime that I would try to get a pin, which I've seen that in past games. But there was one instance, I think it was like the third or fourth time that she tried to get involved in the match, where I was doing a cover. I was trying to pin Charlotte. And the referee got down, and Dana actually dragged the ref out of the ring. He was arguing with her for a little bit. It had us to where we could fight for a little bit inside the ring, no DQ or anything, because the ref was tied up with Dana.
Hey, you gave Charlotte a low blow.
Yeah, right. The ref ejected Dana from the match.
Oh.
We were still fighting for a little bit after that. And then Charlotte, the AI, got rolled out of the ring and started walking around and went back to the entranceway.
She's leaving for the 10 count.
Yeah, as a heel. I went out. I decided to chase her. So I went into the entrance ramp, and we started going back and forth. They did not try to get back in the ring. The AI actually let us get a double count out.
Wow. Okay. Okay. I'm not mad at that.
Yeah. For the AI in that game to
know that,
to do that, use that strategy, you know, and there's some other good things in there. Like there's backstage brawling that you can do as a match type, I guess. But yeah, the game is not as bad as I initially probably claimed last week. So I will agree with I'll repeat what I said last week. It's a mixed bag of good and bad.
Okay.
But I wouldn't mind owning it, just to
For the right price.
yeah, definitely for the right price. And plus, I was still unlocking stuff too, so I don't have the full. I did unlock New Age Outlaws, just because I wanted to see how they did the entrance. Because I remember it was a year or two ago when they were in there, they kind of fumbled up their entrance. They took the ass out of
Yeah.
But they brought it back. It's like a full entrance.
It's like the ass back in.
Yeah,
there.
I know you like that.
Ooh.
But not only that, but they had it. I think last time it was just the audio of Road Dogg doing his thing.
Mm-hmm.
This time the animation
had him actually with the microphone
synced up audibly with the lips and what was coming out for the audio. It was spot on for as far as the animation goes.
Would you be able to switch that out for like Enzo and Big Cass and have Enzo come out? Oh, you didn't know, and
maybe.
That'd be funny.
Enzo and Cass has their own entrance with the microphone and everything, but for some reason it's like not synced up as well because there's more animated when they're doing their stuff. Like he's all over the place. So it's just, I mean, the audio is there. It sounds good, but it's just the animation is kind of choppy.
Okay.
But for New Age Outlaws, for some reason, it was spot on. And he does this whole thing, going to the ring. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, they do all that. He hands the microphone over to Billy Gunn. Billy Gunn grabs it from him and says, if you're not down with that, he does the whole thing, and it's their audio, so it sounds really good.
I bet it sounds nice on your surround sound too.
It does. Anyway,
what else sounds good in his surround sound is Braun's entrance theme. You can hear the bass pedal and the guitar. Oh man,
he really wants to talk about Braun.
Go for it, man.
Well, because we've been talking about it for a week. Yeah. So
there goes our microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had to call a bluff. It was another week. 3 opponents. Killed them all. Where's
he sent one flying.
Where's the competition?
Air Braun.
Yeah. So who did Braun get challenged? Who answered Braun's challenge?
Sami fucking Zayn.
Thank you. That face with the scratching of whatever beard he's got down here. That's the reaction I had. What about you?
I'm saying, like, it's Sami Zayn, really. I guess you got to have a starter, known superstar to be fed to.
Somebody that's okay at losing, right?
Because you're gonna lose if you're the first roster member to face that. Yeah, you're gonna lose.
What have I said about Sami Zayn? He's the best loser on the roster. He can lose and people still cheer for him. He loses, and people still give a shit about him. He's unlike Bray Wyatt, where when Bray Wyatt loses, people, oh fuck, man, Bray Wyatt, oh goddamn. Oh, when Sami Zayn loses, like, oh shucks, Sammy, you'll get him next time. You'll win the big one eventually. Oh,
well, when you have underdog literally written on your shirt, you got your expectations set right there. But anyway, so Sami Zayn versus Braun Strowman.
God,
maybe Hell in a Cell match and be done with it.
Yeah.
If not, maybe next week on Raw. Just be done with it.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking Sami Zayn, then maybe Mark Henry, Big Show, or maybe someone in between them two. But he's got to go through them two.
Yeah. Do you think Sammy's going to put up a fight?
Well, he'll go back and forth, but I mean, it's not going to be a squash.
Well, that's what I think people are afraid of. I'm not afraid of that, but I think people are afraid of that.
I don't care enough.
Okay.
If Sami Zayn is going to be an underdog and going to lose all the time, I really don't care about him.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how hot is Rusev's mom?
About 6.
If Rusev was here and you say it's a 6, you kick your ass.
Well, compared to Lana, Lana's a fucking 11.
So it balances out.
Yeah,
Rusev got a couple of 9s, man. What do we have here?
Well,
couple of 9s?
Rusev himself, he's about an 8.5.
Okay.
So yeah.
It's all B cup.
Did you guys enjoy that segment at all?
I fucking loved that segment. I loved it. Of course. Yeah. Mama Rusev and Papa Rusev and the whole Rusev family.
My sexy brother.
Come on, man. That's fucking
look, I'll tell you this. I liked the segment before the Picture album came into play. I love the fact that he was knocking on the Samoans. Like, you got 15 cousins and
you paint your face and you walk around in skirts made of leaves and you do nothing.
Yeah, dude, that was like gold. Like, I was loving all that stuff. But then it kind of, I don't know, it dragged on way too long for the family stuff.
You know what? I think I've been saying this about this whole storyline for the last few weeks. I'm going to say it again. Rusev is a babyface here. He's out there, family man, talking about his mom and dad, hardworking people. This is where he came from. He's a
Fine ass wife.
Fine ass wife. You know,
Does it make you hate him though?
No.
Gives me hope that if a fat ass like Rusev could pull that kind of ass.
Yes.
Yeah.
Keep up.
Like I don't know. And then Roman comes out, interrupts him, and like starts talking shit about his family that he just got done talking about how it's so great. Like Roman's the heel in all this, man. Like,
dude, I'm sorry, man. I can see what they're trying to do, but dude, Roman is if they think that this feud is a catalyst for Roman to finally go upward momentum-wise as finally getting over as a face, it's not happening, dude.
I think that the issue that could have been tweaked on this whole segment was because I looked at it as Rusev as the heel was being obnoxious with the family album, right? That's that. But what he could have done is just gone full, like maybe it be more obnoxious than what he already was, and make it over. And that's why I thought that's what they're doing, just dragging it out, making it to where okay, we get it, you know, shut the fuck up. And then whenever Roman's music finally hit, people would cheer him for interrupting or for.
But they've tried that once or twice before, and I even called you out on it. I was like, dude, you think Roman's finally gonna get a face reaction because this has gone on too long? And you and I were like, ah, the crowd on television is like, boo! Like it completely failed, just like this time, it completely failed. Yeah. Like, what's it gonna like? You tell me. Hey, what would Kevin Dunn do to get Roman Reigns over?
Oh, no.
I have no idea what Kevin Dunn did. Fuck if I know. I don't think Kevin Dunn's here today. He's got nothing. Apparently he doesn't because it's not on fucking TV. Like shit, I don't know.
What's gonna have to happen is I think unless they've already tried now, I just forgot. Maybe get involved with who's the most overfaced right now on Raw.
They tried that. They had Roman and Sasha.
No. I'm not even. No, seriously. Like, who's the most overfaced?
Seriously?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
On Raw, the most overfaced right now?
Male.
Seth? Is it Seth?
Okay, so here's what you do. If you have, say, Seth getting beat down by Jericho and Owens, and maybe somehow Rusev's involved or something. Not even if Seth, the overface, is getting attacked by all ends, whatever, and then Roman comes out to help, not even play his music, just have him run out and save the day.
And that's the problem because they keep playing his music like, okay, this is a time where everyone should cheer.
Right.
Just let it happen. Just have Roman run out like a post-show match where they just like it's just random and then they just run out without any fanfare.
I think that might you might have something there, and plus you would have the anticipation of, oh shit, he's coming to help Seth Rollins, former Shield member. Oh shit, are they going to come back together?
Shield back together. Ooh.
And people love the Shield, right?
Yeah.
It was just when they split up, that's when everybody started hating Roman.
Yeah,
pretty much.
But having Roman and Seth that close together in storyline, dude, is that too much? Because they've went to that well so many times.
Not to mention,
but not on the same page though. Like it's always been Seth
right.
versus Roman.
Yeah.
But even then, like, how does that devalue their brands any? Because now you have Roman, who just this year started off the year as your world heavyweight champion, is now buddying up with the guy that has the #1 contender for the heavyweight champion to fight off his feud and Roman's feud, who's the U.S. title. Like, you see Roman and Seth together, casual fans are going to assume both of these guys should be fighting for the heavyweight title. Why is one going for one and one going for the other?
Yeah.
Like the heavyweight title. I mean, what are you talking about? Because if you said casual,
like fan, if you see Roman and Seth together, casual fans are going to be like, well, why isn't Roman fighting for the heavyweight title? That's what he's been doing. So
no, you can't your own self there. I mean, it's heavyweight title's not even on that fucking show. So
no, the universal title is what I mean.
Right,
the big belt.
Yeah, okay. the main title belt. And for Raw, like, why is Roman?
No, I don't think people. I mean, that goes for anybody, not just Roman. Like,
again, this is coming from the standpoint that we're all saying that Roman should be the face because that's how they're booking him. Man, why don't we just pull the trigger on him and say that he's the heel? You know, I got in the chat right now, new guy Juan. He's saying that him saying Roman Empire was ballsy. Okay, yeah, I guess so.
And that got a bad reaction, and it was a mixed reaction.
Yeah, exactly. And he also suggested this, which I love. Roman joined the heel Usos and formed a new faction.
Different brands.
Oh yeah, they are on different brands. But if they were on the same brand, that'd be fucking
They
awesome.
they had the opportunity to do that when they're all on the same before they did the brand split.
Yeah.
And they didn't. They've
Well,
had
they should. It doesn't mean they shouldn't do it. They should still do it.
they've had so many different opportunities. Even when you know what it really did for me when they started calling him Big Dog. When he started calling himself the Big Dog, like who calls himself Big Dog, right?
Douchebags. That's the job.
And bitches.
Douchebags call themselves big dogs.
So like Big Dog, Roman Empire, just like his demeanor.
Long hair, vest wearing assholes call themselves big dogs.
Why does he need a vest? Anyways.
I'm not wearing a vest.
Okay, today.
Anyway, but yeah, he kind of needs like a makeover or something, or just the way it changes demeanor, change something.
You know what Roman needs? A good injury. Keep him off of television for a good year.
Okay.
And have him come back for about a month without any matches, just to figure out where he's
You mean
at.
like he was gone for a month?
Just to figure out where he's at, and just let him soak up the audience and let it decide where he's going to go.
What you're saying is that he should have a match with Seth Rollins.
Eventually, with Dean Ambrose as a ref.
Oh God.
Yeah. You, for some ungodly reason, want to piss off Travis by talking about Dana on this show. So I'm going to look this way. Travis is going to grab his list, and you're going to start talking.
Well, it's okay. I think Travis will like this because I'm criticizing Dana.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Dana fucked up that finish royally. Like, she was trying to extend out her leg to get the leverage on the rope so that she got the heel win, tainted victory, this and that. She kind of pawed over there, and she didn't quite reach. And she said, fuck it, I'm going with this anyway. Wound up getting the clean win over Bayley, which is the last thing that needed to happen. I mean, Bayley getting pinned with a dirty pin, even that is a little bit too risky to do with the way that Dana's been going and the way Bayley's been going. It's like, that's going to kill a little bit of momentum, but at least that'll lead more to storyline. Bayley could go somewhere and say, hey, you cheated to win, this and that, whatever. But here, she fucked it up royally because the entire essence of the fucking storyline that's going on here is completely out the window. It's completely changed because she beat her clean.
Right.
She beat her clean. Dana Brooke beat Bayley clean.
And
it's Dana Brooke, man.
number one, she was looking extra jiggly on Monday, which I could appreciate. Because I'm looking at that Poison Ivy picture Travis has on the wall. I'm thinking, yeah, that almost felt like Dana on Monday. Number two, it's WWE's booking fault for booking this match. Number two, we shouldn't be having this match right now.
Okay.
That you should save for a Raw only pay-per-view, which, by the way, you're having next Sunday.
You think this is a pay-per-view caliber match?
Pre-show, or open the pay-per-view, or a buffer match in between a pair of Hell in a Cell matches. You've invested enough time in Bayley and done enough of these backstage segments with Sasha, with Dana beating her up and jumping Bayley at the ramp. Do you put that much effort to just give that away on a Monday when you have a pay-per-view next week? They should have saved this for next week.
Well, going back to Abel's point, she fucked up the ending because she didn't cheat to win. She didn't put her foot on the ropes like she's supposed to, I think.
She was reaching for it.
She was clearly reaching for it and didn't get it.
She wasn't even in the ballpark.
So in that case, had she not done that, then yeah, you could say, yeah, this match could have happened now. So booking's not the fault of booking. The rematch would have been, or can still be, at the pay-per-view.
Right. But how is Bayley going to justify getting a rematch now?
Well, they'll make up something, but I mean, it's
because, okay, last week you had her jump Bayley and kick her ass.
Right.
Now you're having her beat Bayley in the ring.
Here's how you.
What does Bayley have? She doesn't have a leg to stand on now.
Here's how you fix it.
How do you fix it?
One of the great things that I've been noticing, for example, on Lucha Underground is, for example, Prince Puma. He stopped catering to the fans and being flashy and flippy-dippy for them. These last couple of matches, he's been focused primarily on the person in the ring. All we need is 1 2-minute promo from Bayley in the locker room going, fuck, I was NXT Women's Champion, and now I lost to fucking Dana Brooke. I need to focus. And at Hell in a Cell, you can do that all you want when you're coming out, but as soon as the bell rings, she needs to beat Dana in like 2 minutes.
No twisting of the hair.
As soon as that bell rings, as soon as the bell rings, you beat the shit out of Dana. 2 minutes. That's all she's got.
That's the only way they can really save.
And that's how they could save Bayley from losing to somebody that, in wrestling skills wise, we all had no idea that Dana would have gone over Bayley this clean. So that's the way to fix it. Yeah, she shouldn't ever.
She should still be in NXT, goddammit.
Yeah, that's how you fix this, is to have Bayley reflect and go hardcore in on Dana.
But she's got to reflect on a match with Dana. Like, she should, like, I guess not popularity-wise, but, like, you think that wrestling-wise, Bayley's up here, Dana's down here.
Yeah, but look where the other women in the title picture are. And look where Bayley's at. You don't think that's enough cause for Bayley to be like,
for the character of Bayley to have self-motivation to go to
like, what the fuck am I dealing with Dana? Let me beat the hell out of Dana in 2 minutes, and I'll go up to Mick Foley and say, hey, all right, I want back in. That's all it takes.
Okay.
But that goes back to what we've all been saying, actually, for the past few weeks or months, is just the Raw women's division sucks. Pretty much. Well, I wouldn't say suck, but I mean, it's
not as good as SmackDown division.
It's just you have Sasha and Charlotte.
And that's it. Well, yeah, that's it.
And then Bayley Hughes floundering and Dana Brooke, who nobody likes, but they're trying to do something
with
their mission. Fucks everything up.
Where's Nia Jax at?
Oh, we don't know. And yeah, Emma. What's Emma?
Emelina.
Yeah, Emelina.
I'm not gonna call her Emelina. I'll tell you that right now. It's fucking Emma.
I wouldn't even go that far. I just call her eh.
You know, I for what this is right now. Now, I kind of got called out on this during Raw, because when I was watching Raw, I was like, this is stupid. This sucks. But while I was watching it, I was like, as far as we've seen through our last 2 weeks, all of a sudden we have divas in hedonism or divas in Acapulco or whatever with her. That's her gimmick.
Who?
Do you remember those old
fucking I know.
videos?
Who are you talking about, though?
Emma.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we have these vignettes of her dressing sexy,
right,
doing photo shoots, this and that, and that's it. That's all we know of her. So as of right now, is this a step back from the whole women's revolution?
It's such a bittersweet vignette, because it's like, God, fuck, it's her. It's like, it's her and looking fucking hot. But then it's like the evolution of Emelina or whatever the fuck it's called. It's like, oh, come on.
It looks like one of those old ass DVDs, that WWE put out. That was just like softcore porn featuring their.
To make matters worse,
divas.
or insult to injury. I saw some footage online over the weekend of her doing a house show. She's still Emma. She's still the same outfit. I guess she was just getting some ring rust off or whatever. But same music, same thing, everything.
That'll probably change.
And she looks so good doing it. I mean, she had the shades and all that stuff, And, yeah. Good stuff.
Was it too soon to tease the Owens and Jericho split?
No, it's been building. We've been saying that for a couple weeks now, just watching it. It's like, when's it going to happen? Like, when's Jericho gonna? And we thought it was gonna happen a week or two ago. Whenever it was a triple, it could have been a triple threat. And we thought that's that's when we thought that okay, maybe something's gonna happen. That didn't happen. But this week, I think the seeds were finally planted for
watered.
Yeah, and the backstage thing. Yeah. For Jericho and Kevin Owens.
And we get a triple threat next week. Jericho, Owens, Rollins, main events Raw, the week of the Hell in a Cell. Looking forward to it?
There's no stipulations or anything, right? This is a straight up triple threat. No, if somebody wins,
nothing.
No, okay. All right. I'm sure it's gonna be a good match. I can't say I'm looking forward to it. I mean, it's just.
I mean, they've really been teasing the hell out of this Jericho and KO breakup thing.
You mean KO and Jericho breakup thing?
What did I say?
Jericho and KO.
What? Got him. I'm so confused. Yes. Those two people, they've been teasing them to be, breaking up and this and that for a long time. And I don't know if they've been established as a team long enough for them to be teasing a breakup quite yet.
It's just been, I don't know. It was something that, I don't know if it just was not a fluke, but just something that was off the cuff that they decided to do that one week, and it just kind of snowballed.
Yeah.
And they don't know where to take it. But eventually you knew, especially with Owens as the champion, you knew this was going to happen at some point. And it's been slowly building week in, week out. And yeah.
That's it for Raw, man. Oh, well,
No,
one
it's
last thing
not.
for Raw.
One more thing.
I missed this, even though I watched the show live. So y'all made it clear in our little message thing. Apparently, Mick Foley had announced that Sasha and Charlotte's Hell in a Cell match is going to main event the pay-per-view.
Yeah, apparently on Facebook, because Mick Foley likes to do blogs on Facebook, like every day, like he does something. And I think it was on Tuesday of him and Steph in front of the Hell in a Cell poster. And it has Sasha and Charlotte, and it says Hell in a Cell, and it says Sasha versus Charlotte.
Yeah.
And he said that was one of the best moments, was behind the scenes, off the air, whatever. And I can't wait to see them to, main event, the show, whatever. And then we're like, oh shit, was that something that was announced? We missed it or something? And that the Sasha and Charlotte's going to main event, and this is going to be the first time the women's are going to main event a pay-per-view, and this and that, and yada yada yada. Well, the next day when we're talking about it, I said you said they didn't say that, and then I went back and looked back at Foley's post. He actually edited his post.
So this was a post on Facebook. This wasn't a backstage segment on WWE where they announced. That's what I thought that I missed.
I thought that he said that on Raw when he was talking with Steph, and they were talking about them accepting the three Survivor Series challenges.
That was the thing.
And I thought that they had mentioned that match being on the main event, but now that you're saying that it was a blog post and it wasn't, and this, I'm fucking confused. I should have went back and rewatched that vignette.
Well, it doesn't matter because Foley went back and re-edited what he said.
Backpedaled like a mofo.
Yeah, he did. He says, "Well, I don't know what matches. I don't know if Sasha and Charlotte's going to close the match or show, or if it's going to be Owens and Rollins. But whoever does is going to steal the show." But I mean, he was back. Yeah, he got his ass chewed out probably because like you had a good defense on why what match is going to go last. So.
I did.
You did. When we asked, he already forgets.
I forgot.
That why, like, which match is Sasha Sarah going to go last? Well, probably not, because if
Foley went to all this effort to backpedal on his statement instead of just leaving it alone and giving us the impression that Sasha and Charlotte were ending the show, that's pretty much enough fuel for the fire that's not going to happen. However, you have 3 Hell in a Cell matches. Rusev Roman, Rollins Owens, and the women. What would you like to see close the show?
At this point.
At this point, as nice as it'll be for the women's revolution, for them to have that feather in their cap or that pelt on the wall, whatever you want to say, to say that they main evented a show, as awesome as that would be, I don't think that this is the time to pull the trigger on that. Not at this certain pay-per-view. And call me, say that I'm being too status quo-y here. But
sexist is the word you're looking
for.
No,
not sexist.
A man.
No. I think here the biggest thing would be the Universal title. So the Universal title needs to go on last.
I agree. I feel that if they were to go on last, it would feel forced, just for the sake of being progressive.
At this point,
thinking about it, I might disagree.
You're okay to be wrong.
I'm okay to have an opinion.
Defend yourself, sir.
How long has this rivalry with Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins for the Universal title been going on?
A month.
Since Rollins since Balor has been hurt.
Since KO won the belt here in Houston.
Right.
So a couple months. That's what the announcers on television acknowledged, that this has only been going on for about a month and a half. How long has the Roman Rusev thing been going on that the WWE announcers have been telling us?
For a while, longer than that.
Yeah, since SummerSlam, since before SummerSlam.
Right.
Now, the announce team on Raw, when we're watching Raw on television, how long has the Sasha-Charlotte rivalry gone on?
Since NXT.
Exactly.
Okay.
And it's in Sasha's hometown, in Boston. So if you're worried about a crowd reaction, Sasha ending the show in the cell for the women's title in her hometown, win or lose, if you're worried about a reaction, you don't have to worry about it.
You know what? You have a point.
You have Roman. You have Roman versus Rusev, where visually and audibly the roles should be reversed, because Roman's getting a lot more heat than Rusev is. And then you have this title feud with Rollins and Owens, where bless Denver's heart, the person that got the biggest reaction was fucking Jericho.
In that promo, yeah.
That whole night. Yeah.
For as complimentary as we were of that crowd,
Yeah.
they still were cheering for the wrong
The
person,
only consistency,
quote unquote.
booking-wise, audio, visual, and storyline being told to us, the most consistent thing and the most longest thing, and the one that would have the most payoff in front of that crowd in Boston is Charlotte versus Sasha. And add on top that you already have this momentum of main eventing Raw for the first time in LA, in a big crowd, with all that media attention. And now, first time ever, women's Hell in a Cell match this year. Why not just go balls to the wall and have it in the show?
You make a good argument, and I think you convinced Juan here on the chat. Legit point, hometown pop. You know what? You may have swayed me, sir. I don't think you swayed this guy.
And they took up 2 segments of personal one-on-one interviews on Raw.
Well, no, hold on. He may have something here.
They have a week to fuck it up. But as of right now,
they always have a week to fuck it up.
As of right now, my train is on the.
Doesn't mean he's not going on the list though.
That list. Uh-oh. So far, the list of Travis has been pretty clean.
Here's the reason why I'm going on the list, because this is typical Travis booking. Well, if I was from Boston and I was in the arena, I would have loved that match. But I wasn't in the arena, Boston. And I wasn't from Boston. So I don't really give a fuck. I think I just swayed Travis.
You're right. You did make the list.
God damn! No!
You're on the list. You're on the list, you son of a bitch.
2 exclamation marks.
It only took me an hour.
All right.
That's good. That's a record.
Is that the end of our
Raw.
talk for this week's Raw?
Yeah.
Travis.
Oh, fuck.
You said that you had a special little thingy that you wanted to do, talking about the Survivor Series stuff and whatnot, right?
Oh. You want to do that now?
Yeah, that could be our bridge between Raw and SmackDown.
All right. Yeah, because last week or 2 weeks ago, it was a challenge thrown out there from SmackDown. 3 traditional Survivor Series matches: the men, the women, and the tag team division. And this week, it was accepted on Raw. So now,
didn't Stephanie also emphasize in the promo when Owens and Jericho were arguing that Stephanie needed them on the same page for this Survivor Series match?
I think so. I think, yeah. She did.
So you've already got two of the 5 set. Owens and Jericho.
Well,
however.
No. Let's see.
Professor Belden over here is taking some notes. Yeah.
All right.
So give us what you got. Spill the beans.
Yep.
He's teasing us.
Ooh.
Enjoy the foreplay.
You said Owens and Jericho, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have them 2 on my team.
For Raw?
Oh, okay. You actually wrote all this shit out.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. He's got a chart and everything.
Yeah.
I like pie. Is it pie charts?
No.
Oh.
Go get your own. All right, so I have.
I meant the other kind. So that's okay.
You know what, Abel?
What?
God damn it!
You just made the list.
Yeah, company. Yeah. Just an excuse for me to wipe my sweaty hands on your damn shirt.
All right, so Owens,
Smell like
Jericho.
bacon for the rest of the week.
Tell me what y'all think about this. Rounds out the team here. I have Rollins, which again, full disclaimer, I'm against heels and faces on the same team. However, you have to do that booking wise, and
we complained about the draft.
Yeah.
We complained about the draft. You want to have the best of the best on your team. So does that mean you have your U.S. champion on your team since he has a title?
Well, let him finish. Okay, your first one's Rollins.
And then Owens and Jericho.
Reigns.
Mm-hmm.
Who do y'all have as the 5th person?
I have to say Rusev.
Wait, 5th? I thought we were on 2.
No, I have Owens, Jericho, Rollins, Reigns.
It has to be Rusev.
It has to be Rusev.
Yeah.
Assuming that Lesnar's fighting Goldberg at Survivor Series,
I've already got that down as they're both out. Yeah, Goldberg and Lesnar is Survivor Series.
Okay, good.
Okay,
what's the blue brand?
Okay, we have Styles, Cena, Ambrose, Ziggler, Orton.
Mm.
Now you can swap out
4 faces on the team, 1 heel on the team.
Well, no, I'm not. Just don't worry about facing heels.
Okay.
Okay. But if you wanted to swap out one, I'd say Ziggler for Wyatt.
I was gonna say Orton for Wyatt.
What about you? Would Wyatt be on your team, regardless of the if you have 5 guys? Would Wyatt?
Go ahead.
I don't have him on my top 5, but I could be persuaded.
You know what? The situation with the Wyatts as a family, I would have Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper in the tag team division in the 5-on-5 teams.
I thought about that, but we'll get to that.
Okay. Or I would just have Wyatt go in there and fuck everything up. No, actually, hot dang it.
Oh,
Go
ahead.
I had an option.
I think we're on the same
because
wavelength
I teased this last week. You can't all this Raw and SmackDown. If NXT Takeover in Toronto the day
we're
before,
not on the same wavelength.
if that overshadows Survivor Series, like Takeovers overshadowed SummerSlam before, and how Takeover overshadowed WrestleMania in Dallas, it's gonna be a problem. So I had flirted the idea with Travis, like, hey, you know what? SmackDown signed the newest free agent to be the 5th member, and that would be Samoa Joe.
Ooh.
Samoa Joe loses clean to Nakamura in the rematch, because that's what happens when guys leave NXT to go to the main roster, right?
Right.
And they
Right.
So Joe it'd be Joe, Styles, Cena, Ambrose, and if you're gonna have the mid card titles on there, it would only make sense that it would be Ziggler.
I don't see why.
Unless the Miz has the title by then.
I don't see why you wouldn't have Ziggler, considering what he did the last Survivor Series, or was it 2 Survivor Series ago?
With Team Sting. With Sting's interference.
Yeah. I could definitely see.
He's the new HBK. He's the last man standing.
Brian is definitely going to say, "Hey, we have to have Ziggler on." And Brian and
Shane.
Shane. Yeah, Brian and Shane are going to be in the back saying, "Hey, you saw what he did last year, right? He single-handedly, took out the Ziggler's definitely on there."
And that'll prove how much stock he still has.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's a
now. Well, hold on. Let me get to my wavelength that I was going to say. With your list, the swap out for Bray and Orton, I reverse that. Leave Orton on there. Bray will interfere, causing Orton to get disqualified, because he doesn't give a fuck about Raw versus SmackDown, this and that. He gives a fuck about fucking with Orton.
Or anybody. Whoever he's
going to roll out in another fucking casket or pop out of an urn or something, and then there he is. Or swamp gas, I don't know. And he'll show up and say, "Boo, gotcha, bitch." And then, there goes Orton.
You know what? I'm taking you off the list, bro.
Thank you.
You have single champions on that list. Is it too soon or too crazy or too daft to have TJ Perkins on your Raw team?
I'm gonna get to that.
Ooh.
I'm getting that. But first, because we talked about, you just said caskets, and from this week's SmackDown, the whole casket thing rolling out, King got involved. Do you see a casket match at Survivor Series?
Yeah.
And that would take out Orton.
That would take out Orton. So okay, if that were to happen,
Ziggler and then Samoa Joe.
or you'll hate me for this.
Kane.
Why not put Miz on there? Miz and Ziggler on the same team.
I agree.
Yeah, hey, it's controversial, but you know what?
I don't think Brian would do that. Just a spite.
Dude.
Oh,
no.
Yeah.
But never mind.
Oh no! What do you got from you now, Brian? Baron fucking
I was just
Corbin.
Thinking that. I was just thinking
Oh
that.
my god!
I was just thinking that.
Yeah, dude.
If y'all haven't seen Talking Smack this week,
you're doing yourself a disservice.
Talking Smack single-handedly turned, I guess, all three of us around on Baron Corbin this week. Holy shit!
We had the momentum because we like the boxing versus wrestling feud with Jack Swagger. You're catching up to us.
Okay.
But we're getting there. Yeah.
But yeah, he squashed Swagger damn near on SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see the match, but I saw the highlights of him just forming into the fucking bear. Dude, that was brutal.
Yeah.
If he does more of that kind of stuff, I could get on the bandwagon on that.
All right. And here, you want me to tell you what we got going on the chat here?
Spill it.
Hector says for Raw, he has Rollins, Owens, Reigns, Strowman, and Rusev.
Strowman. How many weeks until Survivor Series?
4, 5.
Fuck it. I'd give Corbin versus Strowman. Nut up or shut up.
Put Strowman on Raw and
Corbin on SmackDown. Both of them are
give
like
him a tease. Don't have him go full out. Just give him a tease, like just maybe
just a tip.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Now you got his attention.
I asked him what his SmackDown picks are. Hopefully he'll chime in with that.
While we wait for that guy, TJ. We got TJ.
Yeah.
Okay.
TJP.
All right. Here's I did my 3 the men, women, and tag. I went out and I said, you know what? There's about 10 cruiserweights on Raw. And there's a 5-on-5 team. So hell, fuck it. Let's do a cruiserweight Survivor Series elimination match. So I have on the face side, I have TJ Perkins,
face,
Swan,
face.
Yeah, these are all faces. Yeah.
Okay, good.
This is the faces.
So Cedric.
Yeah.
Shut up.
TJ, Swan, Cedric. I think I had it's a little mismatch. So Sin Cara and Dorado.
Okay.
All right. Now,
okay.
For the heels, I have Nice, Gulak, Kendrick, Daivari, and that leaves Metallic.
Metallic as a heel?
Okay, then swap out him and Dorado. Either one of them could be. There could be a heel turn in there somewhere. But right now, the roster has 6 faces and 4 heels.
So there'll be 4 Survivor Series style matches. That one is just a cruiserweight only, so technically a Raw only. So that way, Steph and Foley can like one up them and say, "Oh well, you know what? We're gonna have our own fucking okay, yeah."
So anyway, that's I was thinking, hey, there's 10 of them, so there's got to be. But yeah, we have to have some kind of heel turn on the face side.
All right, we got Hector's SmackDown side. Styles, Baron Corbin, Ambrose, Miz, and Cena. Did we not include Ambrose in our picks?
Yeah.
Did we? Okay. What's
Ambrose, Cena, Styles were the top 3.
Okay, what's the variant there? Oh, no Ziggler. And it got Corbin in there. Okay, that's what it is. All right. More importantly, how do you think they will establish the teams? Let's just pick them.
Yeah, that's how it is always time when they do the Raw versus SmackDown.
Yeah.
Team tag teams. What you got?
Tag teams. All right. For Raw, you got to go New Day.
New Day.
Enzo Cass.
Mm-hmm.
Cesaro Sheamus.
Yes.
The Club.
Okay.
And this is the 5th one. There's so few to choose from. Is a reach, Golden Truth, or Shining Stars.
Fuck no and fuck no.
Is there another one I'm forgetting?
Ascension.
They're SmackDown, bro.
SmackDown?
Yeah.
SmackDown has Here's what I have for SmackDown. I got American Alpha, Usos, Slater, Rhino, just because they're the champs.
Right.
Hype Bros. And then the 5th one, you have Vaudevillains, Ascension, and Breezango.
No. You know what the sad thing is? They're going to fucking put the Spirit Squad there. I fucking bet you they're going to put them in the fucking
They did say that was a news report that the Spirit Squad is going to be, we're going to see more of them. But they already outnumber the Raw tag team division, so I don't know.
You know, I think we kind of fucked up the SmackDown one.
What was that?
We forgot on the SmackDown men's one. We forgot somebody very, very important. James Ellsworth. Damn it! I made it back on the list.
We're gonna get to the Ellsworth blowjob in a second. What's the women?
All right, Raw. Sasha, Charlotte, Bailey, Nia Jax.
Whoa.
And as painful as it was to me to write this down,
Dana.
Process of elimination, there's nobody else because someone had to get suspended again for the 2nd time and probably never be seen again on TV.
How about Alicia Fox? No?
Oh, Foxy.
Where's she? I mean, at least Dana's been on TV.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so SmackDown. Assuming she's back, Becky. We have Nikki, Naomi.
Alexa?
Yeah, we got to have Alexa. And then it was either like Natalya or Carmella. I'm thinking maybe Carmella. Because Carmella and Bliss, they're more
Naomi
prominent.
needs to go out.
What? Why?
No.
Why?
I'm going to hate to say this. You have to have Natty on the team because of the Total Diva show.
No.
Or do you want to have Eva Marie on there?
No, fuck no.
There's no way that they're going to have these women teams without a Total Diva / Total Bella's
Nikki.
hype moment.
Nikki.
There has to be somebody else besides Nikki.
Why?
Because there's 2 shows. Nikki can promote the Bella show because she's a Bella. You need somebody else.
You don't think they're going to be hyping all that shit while she's in the ring?
No.
They've been hyping those shows without any in-ring stuff altogether.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not going to put someone in there just because of that.
If you're going to argue for Natalya, the argument for Natalya is that she's fucking Natalya.
Yeah, but they've never showed. They haven't proven that to us as a viewer.
And that's why I'm sticking when I said Bliss, Carmella.
Yeah,
these people, they've been on TV. I'm going with people who's been prominent on TV. Bliss, Carmella, Naomi, Nikki, Becky. That's 5.
That's 5.
Yeah.
All right.
Natalya, she's a backup.
Okay, I'll alternate in case somebody gets suspended or injured or whatever.
Or Becky's not back yet.
Yeah, Becky's not back.
But that'd be kind of weird not having Becky on the team.
Yeah,
it'd be really weird.
Yeah, Becky with the bad injuries. Here's an interesting question that was posed in chat. What's the incentive for winning for your brand?
Bragging rights.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Just bragging rights. I mean, but
because it's a challenge. That's all it was. It was a challenge from SmackDown.
Okay.
These matches are basically like you mentioned before with Bray fucking with Orton. This is just like it's not meant to be that way, but I'm perceiving it as a median pay-per-view to further storylines into Roadblock in December in Pittsburgh or TLC in Dallas in December. So the frustration between the main SmackDown guys is going to lead to a TLC match in Dallas. The split between Owens and Jericho with Rollins in the mix as puppet master, that's going to lead to a triple threat match for the title at Roadblock. All these even the tag divisions, that's just going to further set up the rankings or who's got next in line or who's the big deal.
It'd be kind of cool. Like during one of these matches, a Raw wrestler and a SmackDown wrestler on a team, they both get tagged in and they start doing the thing, and then this gets kind of amped up and they start fighting, they start brawling, and then they roll out to the ring, they start brawling even more, and they get counted. They both like a double count out for them two. And then we see the next night or whatever that person from another brand is like demanding to be transferred over to that other brand. He wants to be let go of his contract so he can continue fighting that other person. That'd be kind of interesting. That'd be kind of shake things up a little bit.
Different.
Yeah, it'd be a way of making it personal.
Even better, if you want to push that further, between Survivor Series and Royal Rumble, there's only one pay-per-view for each brand.
Right.
So you can build that up cross promotion, like this team goes to sneaks into Raw, and then the Raw team a couple weeks later after the pay-per-view sneaks over to SmackDown, and then both the managers decide, hey, you know what? Because it so far between SummerSlam, well, not really SummerSlam, but Survivor Series, already your first joint pay-per-view post-brand split, and you're already having inter-promotional matches. So I'm guessing that's going to be the trend, that the big four or the big five, because Money in the Bank's going to have 4 and 4. That each big pay-per-view, you're going to have at least one co-promoted match. And that would be a good way to start it off by either the men or the women or the tag teams, where that scenario happens to where they go back and forth between shows to the point where, or like Raw pre-show and Talking Smack, they keep it up enough, or like Cody and Stephen Amell on Twitter, they keep it interesting enough or put it out there enough that by the time Royal Rumble comes around, it's like, hey, I wonder if those two teams from the other shows are going to actually settle it there.
Yeah.
And another thing, this kind of circles back around to
Ellsworth.
Getting Roman over.
Oh.
We're gonna have a possibility of a Shield reunion in that match. Ambrose on SmackDown and Rollins and Reigns on Raw team.
Yeah.
That could lead to something that could get Roman some face reactions.
Could.
And if they could some way to harness that and latch onto him.
I don't think the match itself, anything that could happen in that match itself, is going to turn people from what they currently feel about Roman. Now, the build up to, they could start doing shit to make it to where people can finally start accepting Roman as a babyface. But I don't think if you keep going steady as she goes the way it has been the last few weeks, and then at Survivor Series 5 weeks from now, now all of a sudden just because he's in the ring with Seth and Ambrose, people are going to cheer for him now.
Okay, so due to what we were talking about earlier, where Rollins is getting beat down by Jericho and Owens, and Reigns comes in and makes a save for him.
Maybe.
And it depends on how he reacts. Like, it depends how when they get back in the ring after fighting them off. What do? Do they stare at each other down? Do they shake hands? What do they do?
Well, it also depends on what the dynamic in the actual team is. Is everybody just fighting for a common goal? And again, I mean, I know we just kind of brushed it off and said just bragging rights, but bringing it back up in the chat, a tangible incentive will allow heels and faces to want to team up. I mean, if it's a team,
it never has before.
well, there's been dissension. Like whenever they did the actual bragging rights pay-per-views, there's been dissension, you know, where it's like, I don't give a fuck, whatever with the heels.
Right.
But if they have like an actual incentive,
there's going to be dissension on these. One of these teams is going to have some kind of heel do something.
And it doesn't have to be publicized, but just wait till the Raw or SmackDown after Survivor Series, where you have a one-man Survivor go, hey, look what I did for you. Look what I did for you on Survivor Series. Hook me up.
How you going to help me now?
Yeah.
So make it be like a
here's one for you. Heath Slater is the surviving member on this tag teams. The guy that neither brand wanted. And now Slater steps up and goes, all right, what you got for me?
No.
Well, that's an interesting thought experiment, though. I don't think that's going to happen. But like, basically, what you're illustrating is the fact that whoever is left,
you don't have to have a predetermined incentive. You can have wrestlers ask for their incentive after it's done.
Like, hey, look what I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And Travis's dealie, it'd be really simple. Like, you could see once Roman comes in to save Rollins from being jumped, Rollins will actually look at Roman and they'll like hesitate. And then since Roman saved Rollins sticks out his hand and Roman kind of like shrugs it off and instead he sticks out his fist.
Yeah.
That would get him over.
And you don't have to hold it just like that and then walk away. Turn your back and just leave.
Yeah.
And just have people wondering, like, what the fuck just happened?
With
Survivor Series 4 weeks away, what the fuck just happened?
Are they best friends now?
Is it cool to like him?
Where did the Shield debut at?
Survivor Series, right?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Was it? It was a December pay-per-view. It wasn't Survivor Series.
No, they appeared for the first time at Survivor Series.
They jumped the rail.
Their first match was in TLC.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
When they were in turtlenecks and cargo pants.
Yeah. Nope.
They're not quite yet the full Shield.
SmackDown.
Woo!
Ellsworth versus AJ Styles.
You marked out for him, so you talk.
Okay, I'm gonna just say this very quickly because I've noticed a lot of people like not digging this at all, that this kid's getting this kind of attention. Just let me finish this train of thought. This is no different.
You better get your list ready.
This is no different than Steve Austin interfering in a match to have Hurricane Helms go over The Rock.
Okay.
This is no different.
Okay.
None.
No, I'm on board with this.
You have 8 weeks from now till your next pay-per-view. You need something to fill this gap. So you had Ellsworth begged on by AJ Styles to have a non-title match, and Ellsworth beats him in this match. So Bryan gives him a title match the next week, which was that last episode, and Ellsworth wins by disqualification. And I love the fact that Otunga said Dean Ambrose said the guy that's got more wins over AJ than John Cena, James Ellsworth. And now we're moving forward to AJ versus Ambrose this next coming episode, which Ambrose is probably going to win, so they can further this feud so that in the next pay-per-view or before Survivor Series, they have this title match.
Mm-hmm.
All this is just an extension to give more energy, more fuel to give this feud so it can keep burning. That's what it is. That's how I'm seeing it. That, and it's no chin music. This fucking guy, dude. And I told Travis off the air before you got here, it would have been so fucking meta to see this crowd in Denver cheer the fuck out of James Ellsworth until James Ellsworth actually pins AJ Styles and becomes the champion for a week, just to see that split-second silence of the crowd going, what the fuck did I just cheer for?
Mm-hmm. And
then just one guy going, boo, and everybody else, boo, because they would have hated it. They were cheering it for 20 minutes, and then they'd hate it because they got what they want. But that's all that is. I'm not looking at it any further. The priority in this whole story is AJ versus Dean.
You know what? I'm fixing to make the list of Travis myself. I said this last week, and I'm going to say it again this week. This isn't about Ellsworth. If Ellsworth is just a plot device, I'm okay with it. Because at this point, that's all he is. Nobody, even in that arena, the people chanting for Ellsworth, the people going Ellsworth, in the same cadence as Goldberg, people are doing that. Yeah, sure, they're cheering for him, but nobody believes he's really going to be the world heavyweight title.
They're chanting for it ironically.
Yeah, ironically. And even if he did win, people would laugh their ass off and it'd be funny. But nobody is taking it serious in that sense that, hey, yeah, this guy should beat AJ Styles.
However, y'all saw it.
I did see it.
That pop where you hit AJ with that kick.
Yes.
That crowd and Ambrose selling it like $1 million.
Yes. It made me go, oh, for a second, for a split second.
And I bet that's all they wanted us to do.
That's it.
And I don't mind it.
But all this led to not only is Ellsworth himself, Mr. No Chin, kind of a goofy looking guy, and he's already funny anyway, but the plot device to further the stuff with Dean, this has been brilliant because it's allowed Dean to have character, be funny, be snarky, do this and that without there being any physicality between him and AJ for 2 weeks. We have 2 weeks to build without any physicality between the two.
More importantly, without a hot dog cart or ketchup or mustard.
Yes.
I don't want stupid Dean. This Dean I like.
Right. And if you watch Talking Smack, it also was a character device or a plotline device for the friction between AJ and Brian, which that was fucking brilliant. Man, I wish that was on SmackDown itself. You have to watch Talking Smack. Week. Yeah, they'll show a replay of it, I'm sure. But god damn, that was so brilliant. So now, for those of you that didn't watch Talking Smack, basically AJ went out there and said, what the hell are you doing? What are you thinking? You know what? You're the authority. You, Daniel Bryan, have turned into what you fought against. Damn, that was a great fucking line. And it was true. And you saw Brian just kind of sit there like, this motherfucker. You know? And God, it was just brilliant. So all that spawning off of what's going on with Ellsworth, I'm okay with it, and I'm liking it. Travis?
I'm just waiting for that venom to come out. Just waiting for it.
It's all right. No, I was never a fan of Hurricane Helms.
No way.
But for you to compare Ellsworth to Hurricane Helms, that's a slap in the face to Hurricane Helms.
Oh,
get the fuck out of here.
Have you seen him lately?
I don't give a shit about him. I don't give a shit enough to look at him.
Okay. Hector. Well, it's also the same as when Brock helped the one-legged guy, Zach Gallen. How do you like that comparison?
Who asked him?
Damn.
I wonder why Portia isn't here anymore. You don't ever correct Travis in his own house. So if you want to continue to be a listener of said show in said Travis's house, do not argue against him.
Was the one-legged man, was he fighting for the title?
He was fighting Vince McMahon, right?
I think
and
so.
That's when Lesnar helped?
Like that. Yeah.
Again, is that
I don't even remember. Yeah, exactly. Zach Gallen.
I forgot that moment like Zach forgot how he lost his leg.
If Rhino leaves, do you see Ellsworth with Slater? Yes!
What?
If Rhino leaves, you see Ellsworth with Slater.
Oh, jeez. I don't want, like, all three of them.
Beauty and the No Chin Beast.
I can openly admit when he has good ones, that was not a good one.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
You're about to make the list on that one.
Didn't fully make the list.
My thoughts. Okay, yeah, Ellsworth. He is. I think you said it earlier. He's a pawn in this whole thing. That's the way I look at it. He's just a plot device, just to further this feud, which I'm okay with. I just think it's absurd the amount of attention this guy has gotten. He's got a fucking T-shirt on the Shop Zone for God's sake.
He does.
Once that bitch is on clearance, I'm getting one for target practice. Darts.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, that's all I got to say about that.
I'm going to ask you guys this. I think I kind of know.
If Ellsworth is on the SmackDown elimination team, fuck that.
No. That's not what I was going to say. How would you guys feel if Ellsworth
joined in the cruiserweight division?
No. Stayed on the roster, stayed on SmackDown, and became this generation's Brooklyn Brawler or Mikey Whipwreck.
No, you're thinking of
Barry Horowitz.
Yeah.
Or Barry Horowitz, a dude that's on the roster that is going to lose to everybody, but he's kind of adorable. People still like him, and you know what? He's just out there to lose. He'll never have any other wins aside from the wins against AJ Styles.
You know what?
How would you feel?
I wouldn't mind that, only because it has been a full generation, 2 generations since we had well-established jobbers.
And we've been clamoring for enhancement talent back on WWE television for how long?
But, okay, here's the thing. We've been getting that, but it's only because they're local talent they just drag in from town to town. It's not an established Brooklyn Ball or Barry Horowitz or somebody that's in there to put people over. Maybe they have something with Ellsworth on it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
If you want to do the odd tag team,
I don't.
I would stick Ellsworth with Strowman. Strowman's first victim. Ellsworth, as a man, gets beaten up and still takes it, and Strowman comes out and makes the save for your Shawn Michaels Diesel. That's it. Strowman and Ellsworth.
Can we move on to something else?
Is Ellsworth the next Goldberg?
No, Goldberg was a parody.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, for Travis's sake,
For Travis's sake, I was thinking about how I would explain this, and I think I got it. The promo between Nikki Bella and Carmella.
Good stuff. Ooh.
I wasn't a fan of it at first watching it live.
Okay.
Because it literally felt like it was a John Cena promo against a John Cena hater.
Ooh.
However,
okay.
I compare this to vegetables. They're not always delicious, but they're good for you. This promo at the end of the day was good because it got Carmella over as somebody legitimately jealous at Nikki, and it got Nikki over as a woman that she's been doing everything for herself, not because who she's fucking.
There's some substance in that promo,
and watching it again, they didn't even scratch the surface. There's more to this, and especially if the next SmackDown pay-per-view is Survivor Series, that if you're looking at something that's going to have a lot of tension, that's those two women on the SmackDown team. Even if they have a match before.
Where I kind of want to see this going is because if what we got last night is the only thing that we get out of it, then I'm like, that's a little weak, and that's a little bit too diva, catty, Kevin Dunn kind of booking bullshit. But if it goes further and a little bit deeper, where Carmella makes it more personal, then I'll be okay with it. What I mean is, Carmella was saying that, well, you suck because you made it because of who you're fucking and who your brother-in-law is.
And who your twin is.
Yeah, and who your twin is. But what I want to see is, well, all that's point A. Here's Exhibit B. Exhibit B is that you held me down when I tried to come up, when I tried to do this and that. Like something that happened in the past.
Exhibit B is her lack of commitment, that she was willing to quit the brand, and the only reason she came back to WWE is because she got offered the Total Divas contract.
Well, even then, that's still in Exhibit A. You suck because of things you do to further yourself. Now I want to see B. You suck because of things that you did to me personally.
Actually, that goes back to the start of that promo was finally legit explanation as to why Carmella's been attacking her.
Yeah, why Carmella? Like anybody could be filling that role of being a Bella hater, but why specifically Carmella? What did Nikki do to Carmella?
We kind of got Exhibit B already too, because Carmella was already out there, and just as she was about to talk, Nikki showed up.
She
couldn't even have Carmella out there by herself for 30 seconds before Nikki went out there and again took the light.
And Carmella called
her out on it too. The blood has to be drawn when Nikki brings up the fact that Carmella's dating Enzo. If Carmella's willing to throw Nikki's relationship out in the open, then Nikki has to do the same thing.
I see what you're saying, but that wouldn't prove anything, because she's dating Cass, right? It's not Enzo, it's Cass.
Yeah, Cass.
Right. Cass and Carmella, they're on the same level. They both come up together. Whereas, like, Cass isn't like John Cena level. You know, he's not going to get her favors or anything. It's just they're together. I mean, it'd be kind of a mute point to throw that out there that she's dating him. I think I was more impressed. I said right when she said that you're dating John Cena, I was like, oh, finally. Yeah, brought that out after all these years that she's dating John Cena. Finally.
It's the first time them saying it on wrestling TV.
I think John Cena said it a couple weeks ago on Talking Smack.
4 seasons of Total Divas that we don't watch, so we don't give a fuck until now that they mentioned it on television.
And it's finally coming to light.
It's part of a storyline that's furthering two wrestlers. Yeah.
I know. I dug the whole thing. it's substance for a women's feud.
Mm-hmm.
What's not to like about it?
Mm-hmm.
And it sucks because right now with and you know what, I would kind of argue this even with before Becky got injured. Regardless that Becky has the title, this is your main women's feud on SmackDown. Carmella versus Nikki.
Is that because it's Nikki? It's kind of like how John Cena is always the main event feud, even though he doesn't have a title.
No, it's because Becky's injured.
Yeah, that too.
Well, besides that, you're saying before she got injured.
Yeah, because Becky. Well, because
okay.
I like Alexa Bliss.
Yo,
She's a decent, competent wrestler. She's pretty, but
she's a good heel,
and she's a great heel. But they haven't given it enough time for her to prove as a heel that she's on the level of Becky Lynch to be worthy of a title shot. The way Carmella's had the upper hand on Nikki before the first pay-per-view where they had this match already made Carmella more of a threat to Nikki than Alexa was to Becky.
Right.
And
wait, run that one by me again.
They made Carmella They had Carmella more threatening to Nikki than Alexa was to Becky.
Okay.
The more threatening heel is right now is Carmella,
gotcha.
Not Alexa.
Gotcha.
So by proxy, for me, I am more and shocking because it includes a Bella. I am more invested in the feud with Carmella and Nikki because you can see the tension there. Carmella's been beating this chick up.
Here's the thing,
a lot.
I agree with you on that. That yeah, there's more substance with that other. Because here's the thing, it's all personal stuff. It's like all Carmella's initiated that feud where Alexa just won a match.
Yeah,
that's it. So there's not a whole lot of
wiggle room.
Yeah, for that feud, and then Becky's been out for 2-3 weeks already. So it's unfortunate Alexa because that would have been her first main
rivalry.
Yeah, to Evan. It's just unfortunate. And I will say, I love the fact that Alexa beat Naomi on SmackDown.
Oh, the rematch. Yeah.
Time and time again, we've seen it before where a heel, for whatever reason, loses to a face, but the heel already had like something in line, and then because that face went over on this one,
triple threat.
They have a rematch, and then the face goes over again, solidifying that the heel isn't good enough.
Okay.
I love the fact that Alexa got over clean on an over face, solidifying the fact that she is still
number one.
She is still number one. I love that, and that's something that you don't see a lot of in WWE.
That's it for SmackDown.
Well,
is it?
Well, if we're having this great conversation about the women and women's wrestling and how far it's come along and how great we have 2 feuds going and all this respect for the women, during all of that. In the chat, somebody posed the question, who are the top 5 hottest women in WWE, and who are the top 3 that you would shag? And that was the exact word, shag. So he's a classy bitch.
People still say shag?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess he's from across the pond. I never seen this guy, Noah Kuntz. His name is Noah Kuntz.
Kuntz? Are you serious?
K-U-N-Z. Coons? Coons. It's got Coons. K-U-N-Z.
Oh, Van der Koons?
Vanderkuntz. What? Alexa,
the good comes.
Naomi, oh my Lana. That's mine.
If you're talking shagging, I have no problem admitting Eva Marie.
Oh yeah,
number 1.
Oh yeah,
number 1.
Now she's back to the black hair again. Woo.
What about Dana? What about Dana?
Number 2.
Okay. No, not fuck that.
Number 2, because I have a very colorful palette. Asuka.
Asuka.
Domo arigato. Aitamasu.
Hi.
What is that? Those videos I showed you a few weeks ago. Back when she was in Japan still.
Oh, she was like licking on the other girls and shit.
Oh, she's in the shower.
Oh, what? Okay. Ooh.
Thank you, Travis. So Asuka's number 2.
I do declare.
But you see that video, then you have the papers.
No. Ooh.
No, I'm like sweating like right just thinking about this right now.
Jesus Christ.
Fuck. And number 3, again, because I have a very colorful palette, I would take a risk.
You're gonna say Nia Jax. I know you are. Hell, I'm right there with you, bro.
No.
Oh, okay. She ain't like most girls.
Just say it already. Goddamn,
it's Sable.
almost, yeah.
Sable.
Lesnar's wife.
Like Sable now or Sable then?
Sable now.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? It's okay. It's all good in the hood.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Oh, we're getting some love for Liv Morgan here.
Travis, go.
I'm gonna say my wife.
She's on the roster.
Yeah.
Nice.
I just gotta say that to save myself.
Okay.
That being said,
Lana.
That was quick.
Yeah, kind of like your Eva Marie. Lana.
Lana twice.
I'm canceling Sable. I'm picking Maria Menounos. She's been on WWE television enough.
Renee
No.
Young.
Oh.
I'm surprised nobody said Bailey.
Hell no.
I'm getting arrested.
Dude, she's like 12. That's like fucking AJ Lee.
You.
What I said. Lana, Naomi, Alexa Bliss.
Okay.
Not
Ooh,
necessarily.
Naomi.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, God, yeah.
Lana, Eva Marie. Yeah, okay. Whatever.
Candlelight or in the dark or in black light? With Naomi wearing the getup. That's it for SmackDown.
And does everything glow?
Oh! Doesn't match the drink. Because it's in the hair.
You can go to Adam and Eve and get a glow-in-the-dark condom and have your lightsaber fighting. Oh, not long, Daddy. So that's it for SmackDown.
Oh, my God. I didn't think of that. She just shot up to first on the list. Oh, my Lord.
Speaking of beautiful women. Something about something about the Australian women teaming up in NXT. I'm enjoying the vibe that I'm getting from these two women.
Team Australia.
Yeah, Peyton Royce and Billie Kay.
Mm-hmm.
They look very nice down there. Oh, well, up there because they're my height. So I should put one of them on my list. They beat up what's her face again?
Who? What?
Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I was still thinking about.
Yeah, because it's Billie Kay versus Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
And Peyton was out there with her because they're
cheering. Yeah,
they're best buds. I love the fact I laughed out loud when I heard that. Okay, so Liv Morgan comes out. You know, she's being all hype and everything. And,
yeah, she's being the Jersey version of Carmella.
Yeah, she's Carmella like.
She's Carmella across the border.
What cracked me up was. I heard it right before it was called out, but I heard one guy chanting 217. Yeah. And then fucking Corey Graves
called him out.
He said, there's one guy chanting 217 in the crowd, Tom.
That one guy should be ashamed of himself.
Yeah. Oh, God, dude.
Oh, my God. Why have we not mentioned this yet as far as women we'd like to hit? Mickie James is coming back at NXT TakeOver to take on Asuka for the women's title.
Yes, that was announced Wednesday.
Yeah,
Wednesday. Or no, Thursday. Yeah,
this comes right on the heels of I think last week when we were saying there's nobody in that division that Asuka can fight Asuka legitimately, would be competent enough in that ring.
You know what? I just had a thought.
Oh no!
Going back to our 2K17 discussion and what they could do for following years. What if they go with women? Why not Trish?
Speaking of Trish, she was originally supposed to be the spot.
Really? It was
because
Trish
look where they're
Asuka.
at. Look where they're at.
Okay.
For TakeOver.
Oh, Toronto. Yeah.
Trish is now expecting her second child.
She is?
So yeah, that's why she's out and Mickey's in.
Oh, okay.
So, ta-da.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mickey, who most of the time is looking like she's expecting her next child, and I'm not complaining because Thick is in. Yeah. But Asuka versus Mickie James. First impression. What do you guys think?
I'm down.
I'm down. I'm very down. I'm excited. Yeah. I mean, I do know that this is probably a placeholder until you develop some of the other women to go up against Asuka.
Rightfully so.
Rightfully so. But I'm cool with seeing Mickie back. And if she sticks around for a little bit longer, maybe like in a Rhino role where she shows up, puts over some people, gets into some sort of secondary feud or something like that to help somebody else out, I'm all for it. Like, I don't think she should be the champ.
I assume this is just a one-off match. That's all I'm thinking.
I'd be a little disappointed if it's just a one-off because I like to see more of her.
This is Juice and Thunder Liger all over.
You think so?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. So not Rhino. Not like Rhino.
As a matter of fact, I'd push this even further. Say, for shits and giggles, takeovers in San Antonio. I'd have Asuka beat up on Miss Jacqueline.
Ooh.
And set up Asuka's next major rivalry for TakeOver Mania.
Okay.
Because even now,
You don't have anybody.
right now, even if you were to put Ember Moon right now against Asuka in
Ember's
January,
not ready.
Ember's not ready. Even
Well,
in January, Ember's not ready.
She might be ready wrestling wise, but like
Character
wise, storyline wise, she's not ready yet.
She's so sporadic in her appearances on NXT. That's the one thing that NXT is so bad about, is especially with new characters. You introduce somebody and they're fucking gone like for a month before we see them again. It's almost as if they tape 4 episodes in a row
on one day.
Yeah. Weird.
Wow. This Noah says, personally, I think Trish is highly overrated, and he's happy that it's Mickey. He likes Mickey better than Trish.
I might agree with that guy. Speaking of returns, we also had a debut. They taped it. It's on the latest episode of NXT that aired while we recorded, but WWE announced it the week before. Roderick Strong is Austin Aries' tag team partner, and he debuted on the.
We just saw it.
We just saw it before
we started recording. Yeah, we watched it.
Other than the Roddy chants after the match started, I didn't hear a huge reaction for him.
That's disappointing, man. That you have Austin Aries and Roderick Strong, who
Team ROH.
no disrespect to them, they're eye level with the top rope, and you have them against 650 pounds worth of a tag team. Even if I really liked both of the guys, that match just felt bad. Like there wasn't.
There's mismatch.
There's mismatch. There isn't chemistry there. Like I would have put the TM61 against these guys.
They're what against who guys?
Against Aries and
okay. I was gonna say it's the same thing.
TM61 against Roddy and
yeah,
Aries.
but then you'd have to bump one of those two out of the first round. One of those two teams out.
Well, they're not going to win the thing anyway. Bitch. But here's a team that you pretty much coined that wasn't going to make it. Glorious 10.
Glorious 10. Yes, I called
against
that.
Sanity.
I called that.
Before we
debuting Sanity.
Before we talk about Sanity, Glorious 10. Go.
I kind of liked it for the amount of time that it happened, which is basically half a match. Then the match progressed, and it was painfully clear what was going to happen and what was going on. Yeah, Bobby Roode didn't have time to fuck with them, so he cost them the match by walking away, throwing him to the wolves, and Sandy wrecked shop on fucking Ty Dillinger, and it was ugly, but it got kind of ugly, I guess.
Before we get into Sanity, the match was what it was, but I loved the backstage interview with Bobby Roode after the match when he was like, he begged me to, like, I didn't want to, I hate tag teams. I wouldn't even want to be in this stupid thing. But
I'm not a tag team wrestler.
Yeah, that was
what
I knew.
Beer money.
Okay, so that's the joke, right? So like
AMW
before.
Wait, that wasn't him. Yeah,
no,
before it was revealed that he did kind of screw him over in the match.
That's Storm.
Yeah.
I was thinking, okay, he's obviously going to be heel about this. He's just using. I was thinking he was just using whoever to get in the tag team tournament. But the twist was, like, now that he lost, now he wasn't in it, he didn't want any part of it. And I thought that was a nice heel thing to do.
It was a nice heel thing.
I like the fact that even before Sanity came out, they were doing kind of like the test of strength with the audience. And I liked Rude selling the fact that he was not the most over of the two with that Full Sail crowd, which if we get more detail and promos building up to their match and TakeOver, would be a nice little nugget of be like, you know what? I still don't get why people like you. I don't get why they cheer you more than me.
You're not even a 10.
When I've been around the world and I've won titles everywhere you went, you haven't done bupkis.
Maybe this will finally get people to solidly boo Bobby Roode despite the fact that his music is over as shit. Thanks.
That's your own problem. That's the one issue. Yeah. People in Full Sail or just everywhere, they just want to share that stupid music.
And this is all Ciampa and Gargano's fault. God damn it.
Yeah.
Ciampa and Gargano, they're great. It was funny. Their faces is good for them, but they got over the wrong guy.
They initiated, but it would have happened eventually.
I guess.
Yeah.
You've seen Full Sail crowds, right?
Yeah.
It would have happened.
Yeah.
I thought half of Raw was in front of Full Sail. And then the part where the last piece of the puzzle that I wanted for them to sell this was when Bobby Roode left and they focused the camera on Ty, and Ty screamed out with his hand out, "Bobby!" And he got the shit beat out of him. Like, that solidified that Ty was looking for him, was looking for help when these guys are like so ego driven that you would think that they only care about themselves. Bobby cared about himself, but Ty being in the tournament at least wanted to advance in this tournament and was actively reaching for Bobby's help.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that they videotaped
You sound surprised about that. Did you think that he was a heel? I took it as he was a face and Bobby Roode was a heel.
Yes.
I've always assumed
that's how I've taken it.
So that didn't surprise me. That didn't throw me off.
I felt like that the Dillinger face turn happened weeks ago. Maybe
However,
at the last takeover.
Yeah.
have the announcers acknowledged that Ty Dillinger's officially a face?
When you acknowledge your face.
No, I don't. Maybe I don't know. I think Corey
In
kinda,
this tag match, I think that's solidified.
I think Corey kind of fucks with him a little bit, but Corey kind of fucks with everybody, so it's kind of hard to tell.
They've been wishy-washy with him in the early days.
Yeah,
but I think
he was a heel in the early days,
right? But he was getting over because
everybody called Alex Del Barrio a 3.
Yeah. Anyway.
Now,
Sanity.
Well, actually, that's what I was going to get to, because that was the question. What were we thinking about sanity? But there was something else I was going to say here, but then you said, nah. Here it is. Bobby Roode's not going to get booed in Toronto. Hometown pop. We were talking about that earlier.
Not even that. It's NXT going on the road. NXT going out on the road. Everybody.
Mark.
Yeah.
There's okay. So yes, sanity. People want to know what we think about sanity.
Go.
Of course, the reveal. I guess because I saw that it was Eric Young before the thing, and then we saw it before we recorded last week that it was Eric Young. Had I not known it was Eric Young, I think I wouldn't realize it when he came out and he had a Canadian flag on the jacket. I was like, I would have put, because he wore like a jacket like that, right? Like a little.
I think when he was in World Elite, he had a weird ass jacket like that, wasn't he?
Even no more currently when he was a heel in TNA.
That tan looking like cargo looking jacket with the patches on it.
Like he had dark, with patches.
Okay.
That's why I immediately said, oh, that's fucking Eric Young. So, but I don't know if that's because I already knew it was Eric Young or just because I recognized that jacket he was wearing.
Well, I didn't already know it was Eric Young. So, I was surprised a little bit. Like, oh, man.
And plus, they were chanting Eric Young before they did the reveal.
Were they?
Yeah,
well, right before he did the reveal,
Yeah,
not throughout the duration of the match.
I love the treatment, the video, the package. Like they all come out and the lights moving like old school cop, where there's like the searchlight looking for them, and it never focuses on one person specifically. It's just free roaming the light. It kind of. It's another device to make them stand out from every other entrance that we get, because already some of the entrances are already unique to themselves, that you need to have something like that from jump to get our attention for us to be involved. The chick Mary Cross beating up on Ty after the match.
Yes.
It's like, wow. Okay.
That was really cool.
Nikki Cross.
Yeah. Nikki Cross.
Yeah. That was really cool because we're talking about women's revolution, this and that, but for the most part, it's been all the pretty girls fighting other pretty girls. But here, I think we have an instance where she's in this group where it didn't really matter what her gender was at all. We didn't even know what gender she was. She started beating up on Ty, just waylaying on him.
Oh my God, Masquerada Sagrada debuts on NXT.
Yeah, and then when she starts trying to unveil who she is, is that a woman, Tom?
This dude's got boobs.
And then hey,
me.
sure enough, it's a chick. And oh damn, that's cool. It kind of. Charles is gonna hate me for saying this. It was kind of like the reveal when Metroid, like, oh, Cyrus is a chick. Like, holy shit, what? Okay. It was a little surprising. See, I knew he was going to hate me for that one.
I'm making the same. I just thought it was.
He knows all that. He didn't even put me on the list for saying that. Wow.
We'll get there. No, it was. No, I laughed whenever Nikki Cross took off the thing and Corey is like, oh my God, that's Nikki Cross. And I just laughed. I was like, oh, you mean that one chick that was on a match like 2 weeks ago? That Nikki Cross? Oh, thanks, Corey. Like what? Like it was almost,
it's Nikki Cross, Tom. He had to reiterate.
It was like, no, he said it for Eric Young. That's what he said. But it felt like TNA level of like whenever someone would debut, like Doc Gallows. Oh my God, that's
like they're already scraping the bottom of the barrel. As far as
it's like, come on, why are you freaking out about Nikki Cross? Like she's on one match.
Yeah,
2 or 3 weeks ago, and it was just like a
squash.
Yeah, it was nothing.
Yeah.
So if she was already established on NXT, then you would have something like, holy shit, that's but no, I'm sorry. It kind of took the wind out of the sails for me on that one. Just for that one. You overhype it like that, and
we barely know the chick.
Right.
Alexander Wolf, he's been there for a while.
I don't care.
The other guy, I have no idea who it is. Eric Young, headlining a stable in NXT. Does that get your attention?
Yes. To me, Eric Young's.
I thought you didn't like Eric Young.
I'm not in love with Eric Young. I've been kind of meh about Eric Young. The time that I've liked Eric Young the most is when he was the leader of World Elite, and I've always felt that Eric Young was the best. He was the best whenever he was a leader of a stable. He's kind of almost he could do the cult follower thing well. So that's what I like about him.
Superhero.
Yeah, that too. He does funny well as well. But him with a bunch of crazy psychopath ass kicker people being the leader of them, I'm okay with it.
Now, top of that, do you need to know who Sanity is?
No, I don't need to know. So when we're complaining about, Corey and Tom saying, oh, that's so-and-so and that's so-and-so, I'm like, I don't know who they are. I don't care who they are.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the gimmick. Do you need to know what the gimmick is?
Oh, I want a little bit more build.
Okay.
A little bit more like, why are these guys together like this?
What's the motive?
What's the motive? Which is something that we never truly 100% full balls out got with the Shield.
Oh, they didn't say Authors of Pain.
That's very.
I don't want that. I mean, I don't want a repeat of Authors of Pain.
Right.
Like, I don't want Eric Young to come out next week or a month from now, whenever he's on TV again.
This is all part of the plan.
Yeah. Mic drop. What? No. Tell us what they're doing. Yeah.
Why are you doing this?
Yeah.
Like with the Shield, they're like, oh, well, we're the Hounds of Justice, and we're fighting against injustices. Okay, well, what's that injustice? Wait, how do you determine what's justice and what's not justice? Is justice for you? Justice for people from NXT? Justice for who? And we never really got that answer, but people didn't really care because they liked the Shield. Maybe they'll go the same way here. People won't really care because they'll like Sanity. I don't know. It's too early to tell. But for me to get on board without the rest that the Shield got, I need to have a little bit more backstory. A little bit more.
What about you?
Well, it's only the first week. I want
exactly. I just said you want to see more. Yeah,
I would like at least. And I know it's going to be contrary from what we've been complaining about NXT. Give it 2 or 3 weeks for their next match, and that's when you give me. This is why we're here. Like, I'm glad that they didn't just spill the beans right off the top. Give me time to soak in the fact that these 4 are on this program together as a unit. Let me take that in.
It was a nice introduction.
Yeah, and it was a really good introduction. So now the next time I see them, I want to hear somebody's motivation. It doesn't have to be the whole team. Hell, there's no guarantee that everybody in that team wants the same thing.
True.
What does Nikki want? What does the rookie that's been there for a while want? What's the nobody that I have no idea who it is wants? What does Eric Young want? What makes this whole team click? And I don't have to have everything at once, but just give me something. Not everything. Just give me something.
Mm-hmm.
And because if you give it away too soon, you'll lose the steam pretty quick. If you give it to me too late, I'm not going to care by the time it gets good.
Okay, then going on NXT's track record. It might be 3 or 4 weeks before we see him again.
You are right.
Unless they do vignettes, and it's not necessarily.
I'm down for that. If it's like backstage, like almost like White Family with the black in the background.
That's what Lucha Underground does. They do so well. 30 seconds backstage thing just tells you a little detail. Okay, boom, we're on board.
Mm-hmm.
Have William Regal back there freaking out that they're here or something.
Hell, they've been having vignettes the last few weeks with Sanity, except it just hasn't been much substance. But now that they're out there, now that
it's just a logo. That's all.
Yeah, it's just a logo
and a bunch of rioting.
Yeah. But now that they've shown that they have the 30 seconds to spare. So use that 30 seconds to explain something. So not just the logo, not just the searchlight, not just the whatever. Have Eric Young say, "Hey, we're here because we're X or whatever, X or Y, whatever."
Yeah.
All right. Anything else from NXT?
A kind of sort of match with Blake versus Murphy that was completely ended mercifully with Samoa Joe.
That crowd didn't give a shit about that match.
They were slowly starting to when Murphy went over the top rope. And as soon as he threw Blake back in, out comes Samoa Joe. Beats the shit out of both these guys.
Yep.
Rigo! What'd you think?
It's all right. Yeah, go ahead, finish up. I mean, you're the Samoa Joe guy. You talk about Samoa
Joe guy. Yeah.
The tone of his voice, his facial expressions, talking out of the one side of his mouth, where you can see like his jaw and gum line and everything. How when he growls,
he gets detailed like that. I wouldn't.
And then
you got a pretty mouth, boy.
in there, nice and deep black. They go to commercial. They come back. The motherfucker's still in the ring. Not only that, he's getting louder and angrier to the point that he delivers his lines so angrily that his voice breaks up at the end. So by the time Nakamura comes out, I was very fearful that it was going to be what we complain about. Heel does all this drama to bring out the face. Face comes out. Heel becomes cowardly heel and runs like a motherfucker.
Yes.
The music hits.
Not what happens.
The music hits. Samoa Joe's insanity level goes from like 8 to 12.
Yes.
Like you see him physically deconstructing in his face, like he's about to break down like Tower 1.
He was trying to smile like, yes, I got what I want.
Tower 1.
2.
He was trying to smile like, yes, I got what I want.
Yes.
But he was trying to stay angry because, I'm going to fuck this guy up. And like his insanity, yeah, totally came out. It was great.
And Joe went up and met him on the ramp. Dude, it was awesome. And then they break him up. Nakamura beats up all the security. Marky moment aside for Brennan. Done. They beat up all the security. They actually show us backstage. Nakamura's beating up more security. Joe's like, all right, I can't do this anymore. I leave. Nakamura's there going back and forth. Joe comes back for some more. After all that, gets back in the ring. Nakamura finishes him off with a Kinshasa. And so Nakamura's back.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you think?
I loved it. It was a
good payoff.
A good payoff. It keeps Samoa Joe looking like a badass, and that's what you need. And WWE heels desperately need a badass who's not a badass because he's 7 foot tall, 500 pounds. They need a badass who's just like a bad motherfucker by nature, and that's what Samoa Joe is. And yeah, you're 100% right. He called him out, and instead of calling him out, and when he comes out and runs away, he called him out and then went up to him and started waylaying on him. So yeah, I liked it.
I love the whole thing. My only thing is it kind of deflates the air out of it for me, knowing that it's probably not going to go anywhere. Like they're going to have a match.
Nakamura's going to win again,
and that's it.
Yeah,
more likely.
And then where does Joe go from there? Is it worth seeing a rematch again for Joe to lose again?
No, that's you say you bring him up to the main.
Well, I mean, how many times did Joe lose before he finally beat Kurt Angle in TNA?
Twice.
Yeah. So, and then how many matches do they have?
Okay, let me ask you this. Do you want this to continue, or do you want him in the main roster on SmackDown?
I want it to continue.
I wouldn't mind it continuing.
Okay.
But Joe has to win in Toronto for this to keep going.
Okay.
There's no viable reason, even storyline wise, to give Samoa Joe a second rematch if he can't beat him in Toronto.
And I believe, unless I'm mistaken, if he does win the title again, he'd be the first two-time champion. Because we never it never goes that far. Like they lose again and then they go to the main roster.
You had a good run. Let's call you up. Yeah.
So that would be. I wouldn't mind seeing that him continue if they're going to do that. Mm-hmm. But if he loses at Toronto, I want to see him. I want to see him move somewhere else.
Survivor Series,
something. And none of this wishy-washy back and forth for 2 months because the tapings. No. Fucking
done.
Do it. Put him on the main roster. Get him off NXT. Be done with it.
Lucha Underground. No, we ain't got time. Sorry.
Yeah. Boom.
Yeah.
My match of the week pick
is
the main event triple threat match between Chavo Guerrero, Potty Mouth Rey Mysterio, Pentagon Dark.
Yes.
The build for this match, the opening of the show, Chavo and Lucinda. Don't tell me you didn't have a Walking Dead moment with Negan and
No, that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they build up, and Dragon Azteca's taken out.
I believe it's Amigo. But yeah.
Azteca's taken out. Chavo wants one-on-one. Rey Mysterio goes into Dario's office. Dario, sinister smiles like, I like this. We're going to make a triple threat. Pentagon, Chavo, Rey.
Someone needs to make a GIF or a meme or something of Dario's smile next to the Grinch's, like when the Grinch like does that slow like smile, like someone needs to do that comparison because goddamn, he has an evil fucking smile. Just I don't know, it's comically I like it. I get it. Dario. He's the heel authority, but goddamn, he's so over the top. You can't not love to hate him.
He loves violence.
Yeah,
and he's not legitimately a heel because he'll screw out heels too. Because again, Mundo. Yeah, still going on with that too. Yeah. But that's my pick for match of the week, the main event.
Okay. I second that as match of the week.
Ooh.
I agree, dude. Like from jump, like not only did the build from the start of all the backstage things lead to the change of the match, because originally the match, even the commentators didn't know what the match was going to be. Yeah. And until Dario came out of his office, he grabbed the microphone in his office and then for the backstage thing and then cut to the live action.
Melissa, bring your pretty thing over here.
Yeah. So all that was great. The reaction.
Oh, that's on my list. Melissa Santos on the top, baby.
Oh, yeah. The question was WWE. If we want to extend it out to Lucha Underground, it's like all the chicks on Lucha Underground.
Sexy. With or without the mask for sexy?
With. But even people, Lena. No, what? Anyway.
We're cutting short on time here.
Hey,
all right. So the match itself, the storyline just of itself of the commentators putting over the history between Rey and Chavo, their fathers fighting each other, and the hatred of them bringing down to them two, and Pentagon just like,
which is something you didn't really get when they were wrestling in WWE.
You would think so, right?
Yeah, you would think.
But that was the one thing WWE never did is the history, the heritage of the Mexican wrestlers.
Yeah.
They even took away the juniors part of their name.
Yeah.
You know? So
I mean, you want to talk about fucking Fight Forever, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens over here. It's like, well, goddamn,
these are generations.
These are forever.
Yeah. Multi-generational feuds over here.
Yeah.
You add Pentagon to anything, and I'm already like, all right, I'm watching.
Yeah.
No, but the intensity of Rey Mysterio, of just like him in the middle, like doing the double birds to them, and everything works so well in this match. And they all have chemistry with each other too. Obviously, with Chavo and Rey, they have chemistry.
Oh yeah,
Pentagon could fit anywhere in there.
Dude, the finish with Rey and the Tree of Woe for the package pile driver.
Oh
yeah, it was. Oh, I just had a good word for it. I just forgot, but it was. I enjoyed it. There you go. Yeah.
Thanks, book.
Yeah. Go to the website.
That's HoustonWrestleRadio.com.
Yeah.
We need to work on that.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I wasn't sure what was going to be my match of the week candidates and/or pick at all. You guys may have convinced me because I can't really think of anything else this week that really stands out.
The other match on Lucha was the Sexy Star versus
Jack Evans. Jack Evans bleeding chemistry.
That was almost my pick, but shenanigans and everything, and plus they didn't have the build of what that final match was, that main event match. So that's what tipped it over the scale for me.
Dude, Johnny Mundo's face hiding under the ring, that's fucking gold, dude.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
My one thing that I got a question, and we talked about that 1 week, but we kind of glossed over it. It hasn't been addressed since on Lucha Underground. What the hell was that 1 week when Jack Evans was pouting in the corner and he didn't want to tag in? That was like...
Yeah.
Where did that go?
Was just that week.
Yeah.
But it didn't make any goddamn sense. Even for backstage stuff, it didn't make any sense whatsoever, and he still...
Yeah. That might have been a drop thing. That may have been something spontaneous on the fly that they just put into the match itself. I don't know. Maybe it'll pay off later. I don't know.
One thing I bet y'all both like on this was the opening match, Dr. Wagner Jr. and Famous B versus Son of Havoc and Masquerita. Got motorcycle insurance.
That was fun.
And then, like, Famous B wrestling in the suit.
With the stethoscope?
The way he pinned him with the...
With the stethoscope, it was like 1, 2, 3, bitches. Like, oh god, that was hilarious.
Was it? What were they saying? The chance 4, 2, 3, you suck or something like
that.
Yeah.
I was thinking that, and I was wound up being completely wrong, but I was thinking that since it was Son of Havoc and Masquerita Sagrada, what I thought was going to happen was that Famous B would get in the ring, and I was like, oh, well, he's in fucking suit. He's obviously not going to wrestle. He's going to pull an old switcheroo where he says, well, hey, hold on. I make people famous now. I don't wrestle myself. And he's going to call out his new client.
Which would have been Son of Havoc to turn on Mascarita?
No. It would have been No. Fucking whatever they're calling Sammy Callahan now. You know, and have him come out, be Famous B's new client, then he'll automatically have beef with Son of Havoc. So Son of Havoc, whatever his name is, the girlfriend of Evilise.
That sounds like something Lucha would do.
I thought that's what was going to happen, but
maybe
it didn't quite. Maybe it will. I don't know.
Overall,
good. I was kind of hoping that would happen, but
overall, a solid episode of Lucha.
Yeah. All right. So, you know, if you convince me that that's my match of the week pick, I'll pick it for match of the week. If all three of us have it as match of the week, I'm not picking it as match of the year myself. Hector on the chat does agree with you guys that is the match of the week. So there you go. Thank you, Hector.
Man, it was a damn good match, though.
Well, if we put our thumbs in the middle.
Well, no, it's not. No. Even if it is our match of the year candidate, no, it's not gonna. It's not gonna
top some of the shit we already have on our match of the year.
That's nowhere near Nakamura Styles. That's nowhere near Nakamura Zayn. That's nowhere near Styles Cena. There's enough Lucha Underground representatives on our match of the year list.
Yeah.
And even then, on second viewing, we might knock one out or maybe two. Yeah. But the reason we're ending the show with the Lucha Underground talk, if you didn't get your chance at Austin Warfare in South by Southwest, you missed out. But there's a chance, second chance, and even the third chance. There'll be a Traders Village.
There's only 2 chances.
Next Sunday, October the 30th, for 2 shows. Apparently one at 1 o'clock and one at 3 o'clock. There's opportunity to meet some of the wrestlers, get autographs through cricket.
Apparently there's also going to be a meet and greet the day before at a cricket store, and that's going to have Johnny Mundo.
Okay.
Without a shirt, probably.
Wouldn't shock me. Yeah. Not something that we haven't already done.
Dude, he's like, we're in Austin. He's just walking down the street without a shirt on.
I was like, wait a minute. Am I in the wrong place? Let me take my shirt off. Okay, that's how it works.
Do you have bedazzled abs?
And then you got arrested.
No.
You don't arrest those abs. No, you let those go. Yeah. But yeah, at Traders Village.
If you're in Houston, you know what Traders Village is.
Yeah, Traders Village. I've never been there, but I hear it's not that nice of a place.
Chris can tell you all about it.
No, I can't. I've been there once or twice. It's mostly outdoors. It's hot. It's not a place that I would think is air conditioned. It's more like fan conditioned, blowing all the hair. But it's outdoors in the end of October, so it might be a little breezy, a little cool, depending how the weather is.
October the 30th is the actual day.
But yeah, I mean, we saw such an awesome show set up at the Austin City Music Hall. It was really nice. It was set up well. It felt like a wrestling show vibe. It felt like a legitimate wrestling show vibe. No disrespect to anything here in the city, but this is not this Austin City limits. South by Southwest. That was not your local independent company doing a show. That was a big deal show.
Right.
You go to Traders Village, that is not a big deal show. That's independent, $5, $2 popcorn. It just.
However, this is Lucha Underground. So will that Lucha vibe? Because let's face it, Traders Village is a flea market. With it being in a flea market, kind of
gonna get a crowd.
Well, get a crowd, but also kind of give it that old school wrestling lucha feel. You know, that go get yourself some elote or something, just sit there eating. You know, like
there's a couple of indie feds that are running around Houston now. You can talk to Jaime Martinez about it, and they'll tell you.
They've ran at Traders Village before too. So I mean, they're not
shows all the time. Right?
Yeah, I think TSW was there as well as the lucha organizations here in Houston. Yeah, they've been there too. So yeah, they're not strangers to the wrestling scene. It's just this will probably be the biggest wrestling thing they've had. But again, is this going to be a full card? Because you said that you have 2 chances because there's 2 shows. Well, actually, depending on how far you want to drive, there's going to be more than 2 chances because they're also going to be in Phoenix the week before.
This Sunday.
Yeah, our listeners aren't just in Houston. So
there's Phoenix. Then this Sunday
this Sunday's in Phoenix.
The weekend after that's here in Houston.
It's Phoenix at the State Fair. And then it's next weekend here in Houston at Traders Village. Right. And then the weekend after that It's at the Tamale Festival in San Diego.
The what?
Yeah,
The
the
Tamale
Tamale
Festival.
Festival.
What
No trip.
way?
Yeah.
Tamales. November, that's tamale season.
Yeah, man.
hell
Break
yeah.
out the masa, puto.
Yeah.
In Rey Mysterio's hometown, no less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's the drawback of that, besides my personal disdain of Traders Village. Lucha Underground rarely has shows outside of California.
Right.
One. So you would think that you would give us some time to plan, to prepare, to set aside fundage, assuming we need to set aside fundage. 2 weeks notice that this show is happening. What are you doing next Sunday, Travis?
I'll be in San Antonio for Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Alamo City.
Yeah.
Alamo City Comic Con.
What else is happening Sunday night?
Hell in a Cell?
Mm-hmm.
Now, hold on. That is Sunday night. The show starts at 6.
Depending what side of town you're on, because
That's
Traders
true.
Village is 290 hella west.
Yeah. That is true. So,
So I used to live around there. I
Well,
know.
Lord knows, if you're on one end of Houston, it takes you an hour and a half to get to the other end. So yeah, I think Houston's
Yeah.
fucking big. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think you still have time to make it. I mean, I'm definitely going to try to make it. You know, I'll probably stay for both.
Like,
shows.
you got
I don't know.
DVR, you got network.
Yeah, the network. You don't have to watch it at the time. It's fucking the network. You can watch it whenever you want. On delay, whatever.
So you're going.
I'm going. I'm definitely going. We might see if we get ourselves press credentials. That'd be nice.
There's not gonna press
yeah.
there.
But it's gonna be a free show anyway.
Yeah, don't you have to pay to get in Traders?
Now, yeah, you have to pay to get in Traders Village. I'm not sure how much that is, but to get in,
$5.
is it something like that? Something cheap. Yeah,
Flea market.
Because that's what you expect the
'cause it's a
Lucha Underground
fucking
show to
flea
be
market,
at.
yeah.
Someplace cheap.
yeah. Which I think that'll add to the charm. I don't know. Maybe it will. I mean, look what ECW did in a fucking bingo hall. Okay.
With
But-
that being said, if that opening match is anything near the opening match of South by Southwest,
that's
that's going to erase all doubt.
Again, it all depends. Is this going to be a full card? Because if they're doing a show every weekend for the next 3 weeks, is that like a full fucking show? Is the show going to be the same?
It's only
Is
2-hour shows. So.
Yeah, if they're just 2 hours, I mean, how much can you fit in there? I mean, are we just having like 2-3 matches and that's it? Is it half the roster is going to Phoenix, half the roster is going to?
They're all different days. So like Phoenix is going to be there for the 2 shows the same day. The Houston show here is going to be 2 shows the same day. So you could pretty much split. It could pretty much be an entire show with a big fat intermission in the middle.
$3 on parking only. That's what Hector says for Traders Village.
Going back to what you just said about 2 weeks notice, no time to plan or anything. I wholeheartedly agree, or not agree, but this is my theory on this. I think this is a test to see what they can pull off, what kind of crowds they can pull off in short notice.
Right, because South by Southwest is fucking South by Southwest. Of course, they're gonna have a big ass fucking crowd
But else people come. We were there. People were just coming in from
South by.
Yeah.
And here's
So-
where I'm going to bite my tongue. If you're going to have the Phoenix show in the state fair, that's pretty heavily populated, and from our wetbackness, if they're going to have it at a fucking tamale festival, which I'm sure is going to be packed,
Yes.
I would have actually suggested that they would have had the show at Comic-Con in San Antonio that Sunday.
That would be cool.
Already, wrestling fans are also comic fans. It's already heavily populated. For people that have already missed out on
Lucha
Doctor
Underground
Who,
has a fucking comic.
if they've missed out on
San
meet and
Antonio's
greets,
big Hispanic market.
Yeah.
anyways.
Yeah.
missed out on the meet and greets for David Tennant from Doctor Who, or missing out on Gotham, or missing out on the guys from
Sold out in
Daredevil.
like 5 minutes, man.
Hey,
missed
there's Lucha Underground. I mean, Lucha Underground will be there for the,
They're-
for the
no,
comic
they're
fans. I would have gone to San Antonio to watch fucking Lucha at Comic Con, knowing that it was going to be a legit set in an air conditioned place in front of a lot of people in a place that's cool. Like, awesome. You went to Comic Con and you saw Lucha? Fuck yeah. Just like I went to South by Southwest, not for music, not for movies, for fucking Lucha.
Yeah.
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 Fucking trade.
I took a day off of work to drive out to Austin.
To go fucking watch Lucha. Yeah. I mean, it was their
Traders
first show
Village.
outside of California.
Yeah.
You know, but
Up
yeah.
to now, their only show.
Yeah.
but that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking this is a test market to see what they can pull off in short notice. That way they can kind of gauge and kind of go from there and see if they can do a tour.
Well, I tell you one thing, I'm happy as fuck that they're choosing Houston to test, because most of the time San Antonio winds up getting all the love with stuff like, you know, ROH and, you know, Chikara and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, well, actually, it's usually San Antonio or Austin. Where Houston, we're the biggest fucking city in the state, and we're not the ones that get the
We're a bunch
love.
of assholes, though.
We're assholes.
Besides, we don't have
That's
television.
Dallas.
Yeah.
Dallas, that's the assholes.
Depends on who you ask.
Oh, okay.
Well, we have more listeners now in Dallas, so I'm gonna cool that.
Oh no, Daryl, he knows he's an asshole, and then he lives in Dallas, and he can vouch for other assholes in Dallas, right, Daryl?
He's looking at 3 assholes right now.
Yeah. Smells like
Smell us in the dark. That's it for a show, man.
Is that it? Is that all our show?
It.
Okay, Chris, you know how you like
Dude, it's been
to
like a 2.5 hour show. What the hell?
Yeah. Chris, you know how you like to talk about other stuff occasionally? It's like, oh man, we always just talk about wrestling, right? Well, here's your opportunity.
Oh shit.
Again, back with Noah here. Ask the Mexican guy if he's heard of Revolution Radio and what's his thoughts on the album, because he saw that you were wearing your little Green Day shirt here, so he wants to know what you think of Revolution Radio.
I've had it for about a week and a half. It's hard to put that aside because it feels like every album. It feels like 21st Century Breakdown was trying to be a copy of American Idiot, because American Idiot is like the revival of the Green Day career. Once American Idiot came out, I was like, oh my God, Green Day's the shit again. Like everybody was 12 all of a sudden.
Yeah.
21st Century, they tried to copy that. It didn't get the same success. Then they went like fucking crazy and they released a trilogy album. Uno was supposed to be like a old school Green Day album. Dos was like a garage band kind of like, ugh. And then 3 was like overproduced American Idiot, like on steroids. And that was also ugh. So they kind of fell back off of what American Idiot brought them to. Bang Bang, when it first hit the radio, was fucking awesome.
Yeah, I agree.
There's a couple of songs on there. There are a couple of ballady songs that might be good hits on radio, like Ordinary World, the closer of the CD. Somewhere Now is actually pretty good. I have to hear it a bit more because right now, dude, I'm still listening to Moth into Flame from Metallica on repeat. Low Teens from Every Time I Die is a fucking heavy ass album.
Thank God he didn't ask about Metallica.
Oh, God.
Jimmy Eat World's coming out on Friday. The new Korn album should be coming out this Friday too. And the new Sum 41 album is actually very catchy. Some of the lyrics are but Brown Sound back in the band, you can tell. So that's it for now.
Well, I haven't heard the album, but I have heard Bang Bang when they debuted it on the Buzz, however many months ago or whatever.
That felt like
that was cool.
That feels like it's straight out of American Idiot.
Yeah.
Like that could be like in the middle between Saint Jimmy and Extraordinary Girl, and that'll fit right in.
Yeah, I really liked it. I haven't heard the whole album, but I think Noah here's. I feel like R is a proper follow-up to American Idiot. So there you go. Maybe that's more like Mario 3, where Mario 2, all that other shit in the middle was Mario 2, where it just didn't make sense,
Okay.
Mixing my metaphors.
Yeah,
It works.
All right. Is that a show? Are we done? Travis, do you have anything else to add?
Let's go home.
Let's go.
Y'all go home.
You are home.
Yeah.
All right. Adios, my friends. Keep it classy.
Every fucking week that we try to plan, hey man, let's whittle down the fat.
We're gonna have a short show, guys.
Let's finish the show in an hour and 20 minutes so that Travis can get some sleep, Abel can get some food, and I can get some fuck. And no, it's 10:30. 10:30. Yeah, I'm gonna get it anyway. 10:30. I'm be tired. God.
That's why his hands always sweaty.
Dang. That's not sweat. Toodles.
Thanks to all the new people that were on tonight. Tell your friends. Tell your friends.
And your enemies.
They will be after they listen to this.